Gavin Cowan there, the man who led Brackley to the National League for the very first time, the first manager to do that, and they immediately locked him down to a 3-year contract to make sure he stuck around. He believes in the project that they are building here as they move through the non-league pyramid and maybe beyond that in the years to come. We will wait and see. But tonight they've got to negotiate Notts County, a League Two side who have started extremely well. But what was interesting listening to Gavin Cowan during the week was he was talking about wanting his players not just to frustrate, not just to sit in and dig in, but to be brave, to take risks. Because he says if you don't take risks, you'll end up with regrets.
Absolutely. I think it's getting that balance right, really, Mike, between respecting the opposition but not over-respecting. You know, look, it's not Arsenal or Liverpool or a top Premier League side you're playing tonight. It's a side that, aren't too far away from you, all right, albeit a very good side, a side that's looking at getting in the playoffs, certainly for sure this year. But so don't over-respect them. Go in there and battle them. But look, I think it is a time, perhaps they've had a slow start, but they're just starting to turn a corner now as well, Brackley Town. Sometimes that can coincide with a decent cup run.
And how much of a gap is there really now between the National League and League Two? Because we see every year when teams come up, and admittedly we have seen the likes of Wrexham and Stockport with lots of money, and Notts County coming in, and doing really well. But this year Barnet have come up, Oldham have looked very well in League Two as well in the last couple of weeks accepted. But they have looked like they will cope and equip themselves very well in League Two this season. So in terms of the gap between those two divisions, is there an awful lot?
Not so much the division, but I think what we will see tonight is probably the difference in the teams is in the final third. Your goal scorers, they're the ones that cost the most to buy. They're the ones that demand the bigger wages, and that's where Notts County will have an advantage. But you and I know that football isn't always about a better class striker. It's about maybe sticking the one chance that you get away, and the opposition's sparing 3 or 4 chances. That happens as well. While they might have more class, it doesn't mean that class is going to be evident tonight. So I think if you were a betting man, you'd say, okay, pick goal scorers, and you're probably going to pick 3 Notts County players before you come to a Brackley Town player.
Well, the players for both sides making their way out from the corner to our left-hand side at St James's Park. Notts County of League Two here in Northamptonshire taking on National League Brackley Town. And a very warm reception with kids on the side of the pitch waving red and white check flags. Red and white, the colours of Brackley Town. Red and white shirts, red shorts and red socks this evening with Notts County in green shirts, shorts and white socks tonight. Let me take you through the 2 lineups then as the players set to shake hands. A couple of changes, as we mentioned, for the home side, and a very welcome return from suspension for the captain, the number 6 Gareth Dean, at the heart of the Brackley Town defence. He's just going through the handshakes now with the officials and Notts County. And Johnny Maxted is the goalkeeper. Plenty of EFL experience in his gloves. Michael Nottingham, Gareth Dean and Zach Lilly are the back 3. Tyler Little on the right and Ricardo Calder on the left. They may well drop into a back 5 if Notts County can apply significant pressure this evening. In midfield, Shane Byrne and Jack Price, the former Wolves man, over 115 appearances for Wolves, also spent 5 years in Major League Soccer as well with Colorado. Scott Pollock and Morgan Roberts, creative outlets for the home side, with Matt Lowe, the lone man up front. How much of a lone furrow will he have to plough? He will certainly have to get through a lot of running, you would feel, this evening. The bench for Brackley contains Cameron Gregory, a substitute goalkeeper, Kyle Morrison, Zach Brown, Miracle Okafor, now there's an FA Cup name, Danny Waldron, who was an FA Cup hero back in the day, 3 years ago for Alvechurch when they won at Cheltenham. Perhaps he could have his name in lights again. Justin Donowat, Callum Stewart on loan from Shrewsbury, Connor Hall and Ryan Haynes completing the bench for the home side. As for Notts County, Kelleros is the goalkeeper, Lewis Macari, Lucas Ness coming into the side today, and Jacob Beddoe completing the back 3. Across the middle in a 3-4-3, Nick Cerula, Scott Robertson, Ollie Norburn, the other change for Notts County this evening in the heart of the midfield. Jody Jones is at left wing back. Connor Grant and Tyrese Hall, the Tottenham loanee, providing support to Alassana Jatta up front, a man with plenty of goals in his bright orange boots this evening. As for Notts County's bench, Harry Griffiths is the reserve goalkeeper, Matty Platt, Mai Traore, Tom Yorpenda on loan from Huddersfield, Maz Kuya, Matthew Dennis, who is actually their top scorer this season with 6 goals so far. Sonny Al-Joffrey, the Manchester United loanee, defender on the bench there, Will Jarvis and Keenan Bennett completing the bench for Notts County. There are not probably enough seats on the Notts County or indeed the Brackley Town bench on the far side. I think they put a few extra in that dugout on the far side just to try and accommodate everyone, but I suspect both head coaches will be on their feet in the technical area for most of the proceedings this evening. So we're all set to get underway. Brackley Town, as we look at it, attacking from right to left, the stand which contains the Notts County fans who travelled. They sold nearly 1,000 tickets. And it's Brackley Town who get us underway, immediately pumping the ball long down the line. It's a flick on by Little. It will drop to the Notts County defence. Byrne trying to fight for it in midfield. It's Price who just lays it out wide. Slightly hesitant ball back into the fence, which is hacked clear by Lilly. And some competing in midfield, which has dropped kindly here for Grant. Notts County with Cerula now in their first spell of possession. You were Talksport 2, Mike McCarthy and Alvin Martin in the FA Cup first round here. Watching as Jacob Beddoe just settles into the game here for Notts County and lays it into Lucas Ness, one of the 2 changes at centre-half. Only back in the League 2 squad a couple of weeks ago himself after a long time out with injury. A hamstring tear as a free kick's given to the home side midway inside their own half, and these are the early stages of the game, and Brackley Town will just want to settle, Alvin Martin. Yeah, maybe a slight slope they've got the advantage of here, and I think they'll want to obviously get the ball into the Notts County half, and if they get pressure on the ball, they can get throw-ins and free kicks, and I'm sure that's the way forward. That's the way they'll be looking, not obviously letting Notts County build up slowly, but any time they get anywhere near that Notts County goal, can they get a throw-in? Can they get something that they can apply a little bit of pressure? Well, it's long from Maxted. It's been allowed to bounce and go straight out of play, just in front of the few Notts County fans on the far side who are in a little bit of seating. There's about 500 seats inside St James's Park. The rest of it is standing. There are fans around the ground which are not undercover. It was raining earlier. It is not now as we look on under the lights. That one's too far away from Lowe, the Brackley Town striker, to get hold of, but Price gets it in midfield, tries to knock it down the side on the right. It's cut out by Beddoe, high into the Northamptonshire sky. Calder having to chase back here at left wing back for Brackley, just knocks it long. This is going to be Morgan Roberts chasing. Macari trying to help it out of play, hasn't succeeded in doing so. So Roberts will pick it up, just lay it off to Calder here. Calder looking back to halfway, and he's found Lilly, one of the 2 Brackley Town changes today. Roberts just stepping in field. Finds Byrne carrying it away from the attentions of Jatta, who's trying to snap at his heels, the Notts County front man. This is good possession from Brackley Town. They've been confident with it. Back on halfway they go. There's Little. Turns it to Nottingham. And in fact, it's Nottingham who's a little bit further forward in the lineup as a claim from the home side of a free kick. Nothing given. Our referee is Ben Atkinson this evening. And it's Notts County back with the ball. But it's a good spell of play there from Brackley Town. They look fairly accomplished on the ball. Yeah, they've certainly got technical ability in the middle of the park, and they want to pass the ball and build it up. They're not a Route 1 sort of side, are they? It's all around that final third, though. Can they find a little bit of individual flair when it matters in the final third? Well, Lowe was chasing it, and he's won a throw. Level with the edge of the Notts County penalty area on the Brackley right. That was roared by the home fans on the terracing in the Francis Oliver stand to our right hand side. That's where the most vocal of the Brackley Town fans are gathered. They've just got the 2 players playing behind Lowe, who's playing as a lone striker, and Pollock looks lively, doesn't he? It's early stages of the game, but he's looking to get into them little pockets, and he's a diminutive sort of figure. He wants to get the ball, get faced up and run with it. And I thought he was a little unfortunate there not to get a foul on the edge of the box. A long throw into the middle. Lilly was rising for it. Notts County just about scramble it away, all the way to halfway. Calder picking it up. He's got an interesting back story, has Scott Pollock. had a spell at Northampton, but hashtag United, one of his former sides. Nottingham here trying to work it infield. Lowe trying to turn on the edge of the penalty area, just let it run across his body, and it was swept clear by the League Two side. It's dropped in midfield here for Scott Robertson, and now Nick Cerula just near the lip of the centre circle as Notts County try and get their foot on the ball. Gavin Cowan this week saying everyone in the Brackley Town side has got to do a job and a half to get a result tonight. The National League side, I mentioned they are still part-time. They are one of just a couple now, themselves and Tamworth. The National League pretty much all professional. And there's often a bit of money in the National League as well. Just watching as Notts County play the ball about, there is some water on the pitch. It's not quite drained away all the rain that we had early, Alvin Martin. I just wonder whether that's going to affect the way that Notts County want to play this.
Yeah, I still think it's playing okay, the pitch. No doubt about that. You know, it is slightly long, I suppose, the grass, but with it being wet, it will skid off the top of the surface. I suppose I was waiting for Brackley maybe to play a little bit longer, try and apply a little bit of pressure on Notts County early on. I think probably they came into the game expecting that, but it's not. You know, they've played a short game, haven't they? Brackley passed the ball, neat and tidy. Hasn't really been able to get a cross into the box yet, and we haven't really seen anything adventurous from either side up to this point. 5
minutes gone, it's goalless on Talksport 2. Brackley Town have themselves another throw-in, midway inside the Notts County half on the right. It's going to be another long one from Nottingham, perhaps, as he eyes up several candidates in the middle looking to attack this. In fact, he's gone short to Tyler Little, who will cross towards the edge of the penalty area. Lowe trying to spin away from his man, but it's been allowed to drop. And it was Ness who just saw that over his head and watched it trickle out for a goal kick. And the first touch of the evening for Kelleros in the Notts County goal, who had a bit of a nervy start at the start of the season. A few performances that were less than stellar, not up to the standard that perhaps why do you expect a guy who spent an awful lot of time at Derby County, but 2 clean sheets in his last 3 games, 4 overall. He seems to be settling into his new role after a few seasons away from England. Pollock just leaving it for a teammate, and it was snuffed out by Robertson there as Notts County had the ball near the centre circle with Cerula. Layoff might bring Cerula back into play, but of a scramble in there, and it's Brackley Town who come away with it with Calder. Shrugging off Hall, but his pass in field to no one in particular. So it's Ollie Norburn in possession, and they just pop it around in a neat triangle to Notts County before working it to the left, and Beddoe. Over the halfway line he goes, under the floodlights here at Brackley Town. Floodlights that the club only had since the 1980s. It's been a very dramatic rise they've had in the last couple of decades, from very much amateur football to the pinnacle of non-league football in the pyramid. And they've made an accomplished start as well in the National League. 17th in the table coming into this one. They've gone long looking for Lowe. The ball came off his back there as he looked to try and bring it down and scamper away from the defender. Notts County have it near their own corner flag.
Max did the Brackley goalkeeper silly ping a ball, can't he? That was 3/4 of the length of the pitch there.
A wonderful bit of distribution, yeah, absolutely. We'll look out for more of that through the evening. Maxted, who reached the FA Cup 4th round with Accrington Stanley back in 2019, losing out to Frank Lampard's Derby County. Here's Calder, left wing, low cross into the middle. That's cut out at the near post. And Notts County through Norburn just putting a foot on it. He lays it back to his goalkeeper, Kelleros, who's under no pressure at all. His turn to fire downfield. Dean with a strong header away. Calder with the flick on. Drops in midfield here to Pollock, who just lays it off into the feet of Zach Price. Calder trying to turn away from Cerula, and Cerula with a foul. And it's going to be a Brackley Town free kick. Cerula just gestures to the referee that he disagrees with the decision. Steps away, the back of his socks cut. As Price will put this down about 10 yards or so inside the Notts County half. Another 5 in field from the left-hand touchline. An opportunity here for the ball to be sent high towards the Notts County penalty area. Plenty forward. Ricardo Calder, the only man back really here for Brackley Town. Price right-footed, launches it towards the edge of the area. Up go the heads. Jatta was back there for Notts County as it's hooked clear. Price just helping it back to Kohler, who might think about launching it, but who was under pressure from Hall, had to take a touch and goes back to his goalkeeper instead. Well, set pieces may well be a route to goal, but Brackley Town have shown other talents as well, although in classic commentator's curse fashion, Maxted's ball has gone straight out of play and out for a Notts County throw.
He certainly pinged that out of play really well, didn't he? But he obviously is better with the ball in his hands. The sidewind is definitely in his bag, but I'm not so sure that one is.
Yes, that was a rather scruffy clearance from Maxted, but we'll let him off. 0-0. We've had 9 minutes on Talksport 2 here at St James's Park. Brackley Town of the National League taking on League 2 Notts County. 5th in League 2 coming into this one. A decent run of form that they've been on as well. 2 points behind the leaders, Walsall going into the game. It is so tightly packed in League 2 this season as well. There's about 13 clubs separated by 5 or 6 points. Promotion really is anybody's. Right now, though, it is a place in the second round up for grabs in the FA Cup, and it's a first chance for Notts County to attack down the right with Grant standing up the cross, but that is stood up behind the back of Johnny Maxted's net, and ironic cheers from the Brackley Town fans who greeted that cross as you might expect. 0-0.
I think he'd be fairly happy with the start of this game, Gavin Cowan, the Brackley Town manager, but just a little bit more aggression, right? Just a little bit more in the Notts County half, getting tight on the ball and putting a few tackles in. I'm not talking about, nasty. I'm just talking about putting them under a little bit more pressure, a bit more intensity to the game.
Well, it's sent high from the goal kick and headed back into the Brackley Town half. Helped back to his goalkeeper there by Tyler Little. The Brackley Town centre half, right of the back three tonight. Tyler Little, son of the former Forest defender Des. He just lays it on towards Nottingham. It's been given away though. It'll be a Notts County throw just in front of the technical area where Gavin Cowan is standing for Brackley Town. Former centre half, played in the FA Cup proper with plenty of sides. Canvey Island, Shrewsbury, Telford, Nuneaton. And it's a managerial background now that he's building. He's building it well. Took a couple of years to get Brackley into the National League, and he's looking to keep them there. Says keeping them in the division will be as tough, if not tougher, than getting there in the first place. And it was tough for Brackley. So much playoff disappointment. 6 years out of 7 they reached the playoffs, didn't get promoted, but they're a side who now appear ready in the National League, and they're trying to set themselves defensively here. Jody Jones, left wing back for Notts County tonight. He's moved about all over the place this season. Started the season as a 10, moved to the right, moved to the left. He's such a talented cross with the ball. Martin Patterson trying to get the best of him. Grant, meanwhile on the right, feeds it into Cerula, 25 yards from goal, went for a curler which was blocked. Dean with a heavy touch, only helps it as far as Norburn, 30 yards from goal. Now Jones, looking to whip it into the middle. Jatta's header, 1-0. Notts County strike their first ever on goal in the 12th minute, and it is the man with 5 in 5 now, Alassana Jatta, stooping with the header down past Maxted, who couldn't get a glove to it, and it's the League 2 side in front. Brackley Town 0, Notts County 1.
Well, that's a really, really good quality header. The ball in from the left-hand side, had the right pace on it. He got away from his marker, and once he made the contact with his head, there was no chance whatsoever for Maxted in the Brackley Town goal. It was a really good header. It hit the inside of the post more or less, didn't it? And it's a start, really. It's the first chance they've had there, Mike, and a fabulous finish. He's put the 1-0 up, and that's the last thing that Brackley Town needed.
It had been a confident start for the home side, but Notts County's first attack of real promise, and Alassana Jatta deadly with the header. This time last year he was scoring 2 on his FA Cup debut against Alfreton for Notts County, and he's off the mark tonight, and he's in a rich vein of form. They couldn't afford to leave him with the space that they did, and he has punished them.
They haven't really had a chance to get this crowd up. The crowd needs something to get their teeth into, and they hadn't really been able to supply a moment where the crowd could get excited, and that goal has really put them on the heels.
And Notts County playing with a bit of flow and precision now. Jatta going down on the edge of the box, but Jody Jones continuing. The referee allowing play to go on as it's crossed into the middle, but it's a poor ball in the end. And I'm just wondering whether Jatta will ask for some treatment now, having been challenged just near the edge of the area. He's going to get back to his feet. Notts County starting to pop the ball around efficiently, effectively. Lovely cross from Jody Jones as well. He was a couple of years ago the assist king in League Two. I think it was about 24 he got. It was some kind of record. And injury issues and other things have not always been kind to him. But he's certainly a talented player for the level.
Well, certainly, as soon as the ball arrived at his feet, you could see Jatta became alive, didn't he? He knew that the quality was there on the delivery, and once he got away from his marker, he just dispatched the header really professionally.
What's the key for Brackley now then? Do they just need to settle again? Do they? Well, they wanted a little bit more intensity from them, really, Alvin.
Yeah, just doing the naughty things or the boring things a little bit quick and a little bit harder, putting pressure, forcing mistakes. It's been a little bit too easy and controlled for Notts County. I'm sure they would have come out into this game, Mike, and expected to have some sort of a siege the first 10 or 15 minutes, but that didn't happen. And I think they sort of sat back, were happy to play themselves, and they let Notts County play, which I think was the wrong tactic.
15 minutes gone on Talksport 2. Notts County leading at Brackley Town by a goal to nil. FA Cup first round, and it's Ollie Norburn. Plenty of experience back in League Two this season for the first time in 7 years. A leader on the pitch whenever he is on it for Notts County, and brought into the side today. But it's Brackley in possession only temporarily, though, as a challenge comes in from Ness on halfway to dispossess Morgan Roberts. Back with Brackley at the back here, and Lilly just helping it wide. Jack Price into the feet of Calder, gets it back, the former Wolves man. Just a pass that meant that Lilly had to take a second touch before moving it on to Little. Nottingham here, back to goal, having to go back into his own half. And this is the thing that perhaps Gavin Cowan was worried about, that if a goal went in, the balls, the passes might just become a little bit safe, Alvin Martin, and that passage of play seemed to be just a little bit too cautious from Brackley.
I think we knew before the game started that the quality in the final third certainly belonged to Notts County, and I think that's been the case, hasn't it? Jatta has one chance, one goal, and they haven't really troubled Roos in the Notts County goal. They haven't a shot of any real consequence, and that final third now, which has been a problem for Brackley Town all season, becomes much more of a problem now, because you have to take a few risks and a few chances. And when you do that against a side as dangerous on the counter as Notts County, obviously it lends itself to going 2 goals down, and then you are in real trouble. They're still in the game at the moment, but like I said, they just have to put a little bit more pressure on the opposition. It's too easy for them at the moment.
They do have pedigree in this competition as well, do Brackley Town. They have reached the second round on 4 different occasions, including last season when they were beaten by Stockport. Haven't ever got to the third round before. But at the moment, to reach the second round, they have got a job on. A goal down to Notts County here as Grant wins the header near the edge of the Brackley penalty area. Cerula looking through for Grant again. Maxed off his line smartly to dive at the feet of Connor Grant and make sure he gathered. All in pink this evening. The goalkeeper who bowls over arm out towards Little, who carries this towards halfway. And then Jatta just taps the back of his ankles. And it'll be a fairly straightforward decision here for a free kick. Ben Atkinson just urging Jatta away from the situation.
They don't really have any height advantage, do they? Brackley. You want them to get the ball in the box, but they don't really have a big presence in there physically. Sometimes even if you don't win that first ball, a big man up front or a centre half coming up, he stops them. Clearing the ball out into an area which is not a problem for you. So I think they are a side that want to play, want to get it up and then play short, but it's getting that support up there at the right time.
Morgan Roberts works it wide for Calder. The crowd wanted a foul on Lowe, but the referee said play on as Cerula dives in, and it's going to be a throw to the home side. Get on with this quickly, Brackley, or just wait a moment. It does work its way in. And then it's a challenge from behind on Roberts. It's going to be another Brackley Town free kick. Norburn protests, but that will be another promising position for the home side to send it towards the box. A reminder, this not the last commentary on the Talksport network today. Plenty more to come on Talksport 2, live boxing from the Co-op Arena in Manchester. The British light heavyweight clash between Joshua Buatsi and Zach Parker. And in the Premier League on Talksport exclusive, Liverpool looking to end their awful run against Aston Villa. Kick-off at 8 on Talksport. Here on Talksport 2, we are watching Jack Price launching this towards the penalty area. Up go the heads. It's away by Ness and out for a Brackley Town corner, and that's livened up the home fans a little bit. They trail here by a 1-0.
Well, that's good delivery. There's no doubt about it. That deserves to be attacked there. And I think Price is entitled to ask, why isn't anyone putting enough pressure on that? All right, they've defended it and they've flicked it on. They've got a corner out of it. But that first ball is all about making it yours, attacking it, and they've got to really throw themselves at it. Certainly they've got 3 big centre halves there. They've all got to, get on the end of this sort of delivery. It's not going to be a delivery that's going to be coming in there constantly. So make the most of it when it does.
Price has come across to take the corner. It's towards the back stick and just over the head of Zach Lilly, who has to scamper out of the penalty area, step over to try and get away from Beto, who's pursuing him. Still Lilly, perhaps in a shooting position, but turns away from the opportunity and looks back towards Little. Now it's worked wide for Price again. Low ball into the penalty area. Could be a cutback here. And Ness in the way of the ball across from Scott Pollock. Another Brackley Town corner. They're starting to build a little bit of pressure.
Yeah, it doesn't take a lot for the crowd to get excited, does it? It can take a tackle sometimes. It just sparks the crowd into a reaction. This is certainly their best spell in the game. They had sustained pressure here for the last 3 or 4 minutes.
Well, Jack Price ready to deliver again. His set piece prowess is pretty decent. That corner is short. Roberts now trying to turn on the corner of the box and lift it towards the back post. The header towards goal is hooked clear before it could get to Kelleros. It was a decent effort from Nottingham. Not enough pace on the header to take it towards the line. But it's Brackley still in possession. Now it's Little through towards Roberts and whipped into the middle, and Rose is able to comfortably claim that in his 6-yard box. Wasn't under any pressure, but the home fans liking what they're seeing, and they've enjoyed a sliding tackle from Calder as well. Gets it back from Lowe, who wants it down the left flank. Instead they move infield. Pollock, 25 yards from goal, central position, works it to the right and Nottingham. There's his cross towards Lowe. Headed away but not too far. Norburn has to get back and hoist the clearance out of the penalty area. It's still in play, and it's eventually forced out by Connor Grant. But Notts County, just for a moment, having to dig in and protect their 1-goal advantage, Alvin Martin.
Yeah, this is what I was expecting really from the start of the game, Mike. I was expecting this sort of tempo and aggression. They've certainly found that aggression in the last 5 minutes, and it's bearing fruit now.
Well, the throw-in's gone back to halfway and Lilly. And now Gareth Dean in his 10th season at Brackley Town, and well, I'm surprised the ball didn't go into the penalty area from the throw-in there, because it seemed like an opportunity to keep the pressure on. Instead, it's gone back and launched in towards the Notts County half. It's dropped in midfield here. Brackley still with it, as Price just back to his goalkeeper there. Were you surprised by that? They didn't go back towards the box there?
Yeah. I think you have to get the ball in the areas that matter. And I think when you get in there regular, players make the runs. If you're not putting it in there regular, you keep turning away from it, players stop making that run, and that's fatal then. But certainly, they had a chance there. It was Ness who cleared off the line. Roos, the goalkeeper, was just watching it. So certainly, by far, the closest they've come to scoring there.
Brackley Town 0, Notts County 1, midway through the first half on Talksport 2. Plenty to digest from the Premier League as well today. Wins for Brighton, Arsenal, Crystal Palace, Fulham, and a 2-2 draw between Nottingham Forest and Manchester United. Goalless at the moment between Tottenham and Chelsea. Reminder, Liverpool, Aston Villa to come on Talksport at 8 o'clock. And a reminder as well, the weekend sports breakfast live tomorrow from 6 a.m. to take you through all of today's action from the Premier League, the EFL, and the FA Cup. Right, it's been a dramatic day. The Talksport Breakfast Show back from 6 o'clock tomorrow. Notts County with it. It's been given away and put out for a throw midway inside the Notts County half on the right. Nottingham just standing over this. Ball behind his head, looking for options. Brackley have grown into the game, having fallen behind in the 13th minute to Alassana Jatta's header. Maxted in the Brackley goal hasn't been tested since. And plenty more action to our left-hand side as we look at it. It's in the penalty area now. And the low ball in towards the middle is cut out by Ness. Not the first time I've said that this evening. He's been very active the middle of the three Notts County centre-halves. Out for another throw for the hosts.
Just found a bit more belief, haven't he, in what they're trying to do here, Brackley Town. You know, they're starting to thread the ball in, try a few little flicks around the corner, play with a bit more freedom in that final third, and they've got good possession now. You know, they are starting to dominate their lion's share of possession in this last quarter of the game.
Well, they need to find belief. They are the lowest scorers in the National League, 10 in their opening 15 games. It's defensively where they've been good. What can they do from this throw? Another long one, hoisted in towards the middle. Header more up than out from Grant. Jatta trying to help it away. It's still up in the air, bouncing towards the D. Handball claims from the Notts County defenders. And the free kick has gone against Scott Pollock there. And a nod from Alvin Martin, who seems to agree with that decision as well.
Yeah. But he's the player that's caught my eye, really, Mike. You know, if you could just get him 10 yards outside the edge of the box, get him turned on the ball. He looks like he's got a pass in him, and he's certainly got a feinter, a body shape where he can put somebody on the backside and get a shot away. So certainly, the service into him from this moment on is going to be really important.
Spent some time in the EFL with Northampton, did Pollock. Actually faced Notts County in the FA Cup before, but he was an unused substitute that day as Northampton progressed. Sliding challenge comes in, vantage played as Cerula, 30 yards from goal, goes square here. Jones whipping in the delivery, it drops to Jatta on his chest and he has the strike, and a wonderful challenge to recover there from Ricardo Calder and make sure that Jatta was not able to punish Brackley for a second time. For a moment he looked like he was free, and at the other end Brackley have won a free kick. Well, that may well be a crucial challenge from Calder in the context of the game, Alvin Martin.
Absolutely. I think Jatta will certainly be a little annoyed at himself. He didn't get the shot away and pull the trigger a little quicker. It was lucky that it ended up at him, but you've got to give credit, as you said, to Calder. He just made that block at the crucial time.
So free kick Brackley. Wide left here. The right foot of Jack Price. He spent a year without a club before joining Brackley in the summer. He spent a little bit of time with Shrewsbury, and then it was Brackley who convinced him to come back into the game, and Rose punches away only to the edge of the area his free kick. It's knocked in by Little. The header towards goal is in. Brackley Town equalise, and it's Matt Lowe. Well, Brackley Town, the National League side, are level. Little's cross, Rose having claimed the first and got a punch on it, was unable to get near the second, and Lowe with his second of the season. He got a brace against Woking in the fourth qualifying round replay, and he's on the score sheet again in the FA Cup. Brackley Town 1, Notts County 1.
Well, that's made a game of it now. You look at the way the game could go either way now. You've got to say that the last 10 minutes they've been asking a lot more questions, and really he won't be happy with himself. Notts County goalkeeper who comes, doesn't get a good punch on it. He's in no man's land, and really it's a free header, close range for Lowe. And now, game on. Let's see if now they can play their part now, the crowd. They can get involved, get their teeth into this game.
Someone who's operating the scoreboard has got a bit excited. Says it's 2-1 to Brackley. I can assure you it's one apiece. Maybe they're just preempting something, trying to manifest something in this Brackley Town side. Well, we've got a game on now. 27 minutes played. And the National League side have pegged back Notts County. A goal for Matt Lowe, sports lecturer in his time away from football. It's a challenge for Gavin Cowan, having to prepare his players. Couldn't have them in on Friday. They don't train Fridays. Ahead of the replay in the fourth qualifying round, between the Saturday and the Tuesday, they didn't have a training session. He just had to get the team on Zoom.
Probably keeps them fresh. Too much training can be a bad thing,
Well, maybe so. And maybe too much of hearing the same voice again and again and again. It keeps the manager fresh too. As Price tries to knock it through here. Cerula, the challenge as the Ball bounces in midfield, and it's a chance for Calder wide left with plenty of space to operate here. There's his cross into the middle. Gross flat to hand at it, and as it goes behind, it will be a Notts County goal kick, but well, the home fans are right in the game now, 1-1.
Well, Calder certainly is a left wing back. He's getting plenty of ball on this left hand side. He's just got to do a little bit better with the quality. We've seen him make a fantastic challenge and a block in his own penalty area, but he's just got to up the quality in the opposition's penalty area, because I'm sure he's better than that. Time and space to be able to deliver.
That block is looking even better now, isn't it? Jody Jones, though, for Notts County as they look to reassert their advantage. Ball into the middle. Dean with the clearance, the instep. Away from Jatta, who was lurking behind him. Jatta still in the box as it comes towards Hall. The cross, it might fall for Jatta. Away by Lowe this time, back defending. As Notts County still with it. Tyrese Hall, the Tottenham loanee, just works it wide for Jody Jones. Perhaps looking to deliver another cross to devastating effect. Has to put his foot on the ball and spin away from the men in front of him. They're just working this square at the moment, Notts County. They have it with Robertson and Norburn. Just exchanging passes between them. They've been walked back here to around 40 yards from goal. Half an hour gone on Talksport 2. Brackley Town 1, Notts County 1. And we have a cup tie. A reminder, extra time and penalties if needed. No replays now from the first round onwards. Norburn just gets it and gives it, and then looks to clip it in towards Jatta in the penalty area. Outside the box, he tries to take it down on his chest, but is dispossessed. And it's Brackley back with it, playing in tight areas and not able to successfully exit their own half here. Here's Grant, inside right, works it to the wide right, and Cerula here. Cerula with Calder for company, stepping in field. Macari has come wide to support him. Back with Cerula again. Square for Robertson, 30 yards out. Norburn now. Can't hit them from distance if he wants. Robertson just slowing the pace of the game down. Notts County having been under pressure for a good sort of 10 minutes before that equaliser, just trying to reassert themselves in the game, Alvin Martin.
Yeah, but I hope this isn't down there to Brackley Town as well, sitting a little bit too deep, and they've got themselves back into the game. I think momentum is a big thing in football. Keep taking the game to Notts County, because they'll be expecting now a real game to contend with, and you've got the crowd on side. Make sure you keep that intensity up. You keep pressing. Don't sit back and think, OK, well, we've done well to get back to 1-1. Strike while the iron's hot as such.
Well, Matt Lowe's goal, his fourth in the FA Cup this season. An equaliser for Brackley Town. As they have the attempt here to try and pin Notts County in midway inside their own half. It's the away side with a throw. Martin Patterson will not be happy with the way the lead has been surrendered. He's an intense man, is Martin Patterson. Says if anyone could be more intense about a game than me, good luck to them. I was listening to one of the fan podcasts that he did at the summer when he was appointed, and they asked him very generous question, how do you like to relax? What do you like to do? Thinking the answer would be, I like to play golf or play Mario Kart or whatever it is he likes to do. And he says, I don't relax. I can't. And it's the kind of guy who is in the top job at Notts County at the moment, Martin Patterson. A man with plenty of Premier League experience as well. And FA Cup experience too. Made it to the fifth round with Burnley. Beaten by Arsenal that day. At the moment, his Notts County side being held by Brackley Town of the National League. Tyrese Hall with the ball for Notts County, just laying it off into midfield and Norburn. Here's Lewis Macari. Now Grant. They've worked it wide to the right, and Cerula again, who can be dangerous from these sort of positions, looking for a crossing position. It's just behind Jatta as it's whipped into the box. He flung a boot at it, just trying to get anything on the ball, but the cross was behind him, and Maxted was just able to watch it drift out for a goal kick. 1-1 it remains. 33 minutes gone. Talksport 2.
Well, you can see, can't you? Jatta, up front for Notts County. He's just got that little bit more quality, mate. He'll try things. He tried to, something that was all right, really difficult there, and it didn't come off. But you just quite never know what he's going to do. He's already dispatched a beautifully executed header. You wouldn't back against him getting another one. If you didn't get enough quality into him, he's got more goals in him, I'm sure.
There was a lot of doubt about Jatta in the summer at Notts County because there was uncertainty about his contract situation, but it was extended. He's got a deal now until 2027. So Notts County retaining the value in him, and there's plenty of value in him. If Notts County don't go into League One next season, you would venture a guess that Alassana Jatta may well do. There's certainly interest in the summer. He remains a Notts County player, and he remains a very dangerous one in this match as well. Brackley with it at the back. Price with Norburn just close to him. Tries to feed it into the feet of Roberts. The layoff for Calder, who loses his footing but gets back up before he can be dispossessed. And plays it to Price. His ball is just behind his man there, Shane Byrne. Another of the part-time players in this Brackley Town side, an electrician by day. Nottingham's header, and it's come to Pollock here, wide right for Brackley Town. And you try and spy an opportunity here. Well, the overlap was coming, but the ball to his teammate there was cut out. It will be a Brackley Town throw instead. Goal in the Premier League to tell you about. Chelsea lead at Tottenham by a 1-0. João Pedro on the score sheet there. 1-1 here. As the throw-in goes short, and Jatta at the back here of his man Shane Byrne. Brackley will settle for another throw on the far side, just checking in on the pacings of the two head coaches in the technical areas. They are separated by a TV gantry that is rammed with cameras and lights and commentary teams and all sorts. The TV cameras have descended on Brackley this evening. There's plenty of attention on this game, and so far we have got a very decent contest. Nodded wide here by Brackley and Byrne. It's not kept in play by Nottingham wide right, so Notts County will have a throw. Notts County, who've we mentioned earlier, not had a particularly sparkling record in the FA Cup. They have reached the third round once since 2012, and they ended up losing that replay against Swansea in a 9-goal thriller, 8-1.
Yeah, they away from home, they've not been great, have they, Mike? I think they're just starting to get into a groove now where they're not losing games, and their home form has been very good. But certainly, you feel that tonight is going to be an opportunity for Brackley to put pressure on, see what they've got. Because when somebody's there, away form isn't that good, I always worry about their character. If you can put pressure on Notts County, maybe they will start to flap a little.
Yeah, 5 defeats in 9 away from home, Notts County, although they have won 4 of the last 5. A run that's seen them climb from 12th to 5th in League 2. Martin Patterson getting things going. It was a tricky start. A draw at Newport on the opening day. Took a little while to get their first win against Shrewsbury. League 2 is so tight this year. Brackley 1, Notts County 1. At 8 or 9 minutes until half-time. Here on Talksport 2. The game has just drifted a little bit in these last few minutes. Neither side has been able to lay a glove on the other. As play has been restricted mostly to the far side, the Brackley right here. Perhaps Pollock can open the game out, and indeed he does. Works it into the centre circle. Lily out wide for Ricardo Calder. Plays it infield to Roberts. Just back into the centre half, Lily. And now Dean under a little bit of pressure from Jatta, who is just keeping him honest as the ball is laid back to Maxted in the Brackley goal, who launches it for Lowe to chase, and Lowe trying to get the wrong side of Beddoe here, and does so. And he's still in possession, having been forced wide right. And now it's laid into Pollock. Lowe still out near the corner flag and tries to whip in across. It hits Beddoe. It's going to be a Brackley corner, and that is good work from the National League side. 1-1 it remains.
Well, he did really well there, Lowe. He was outnumbered 2 versus 1, the 2 big centre halves, and he outmuscled them. And he looks like he's got a little bit of mobility. There's no reason why he can't start to look in behind the last defender.
Well, he knows what to do in the FA Cup, does Matt Lowe. This is his 5th tie in the competition in the first round. He's beaten the likes of Gillingham, Bishop Stortford and Braintree with Brackley Town, and has got a job done as well today. His equaliser in the 28th minute, cancelling out the opener from Alassana Jatta. So Brackley Town corner on their right hand side. The big lads up from the back. Nottingham just standing statuesque, but watching in front of him as Dean tries to jockey for position. Now Nottingham makes a run. It's tightly packed near the 6-yard box. Some of the Notts County fans complaining behind the goal. In it comes now. The referee's got to keep an awful lot of eyes on everything. The header is deflected wide. It was Pollock who met it. And it's going to be another Brackley corner, same side. I keep mentioning Jack Price's set-piece delivery. In Major League Soccer, he broke David Beckham's record for the most assists from set pieces in a single season, which, while I know is not a record that David Beckham loses sleep about, is still nonetheless impressive. Price, in comes his delivery now to the 6-yard box, and Lowe is unable to leap. And that's at least what he was claiming. The ball, though, was stopped on the turf, and it's whipped back in by Lilly. And Price hits it first time, and Rose has the gather at his near post. Well, it was cleanly struck at the Notts County goalkeeper, equal to the effort, and it remains 1-1, 5.5 until half-time on Talksport 2.
Well, they're certainly not looking as comfortable as they were, 10 minutes ago at Notts County. You know, they had the one-goal lead and were knocking the ball about, and it was an easy evening for them. But game's changed now. They're not looking anywhere near as competent.
Well, they've got the ball. Jody Jones tight to the far side touchline. Tries to stand up the cross. Cerullo looking to meet it, but it's headed clear by Brackley. Only as far, though, as Scott Robertson in the midfield for Notts County, who just sets it square for Scott Robertson. We're watching a few of the dignitaries in front of us just making their way towards the touchline as we see Norburn just slow the pace of the game for a few moments. Notts County with it. Top of the centre circle, just inside the Brackley half. Ness going square. Again, it's Notts County just trying to build a little bit with the ball at their feet. Now it's sent wide towards Cerullo. Has to take it down on his chest before setting it back for Macari. Macari back towards halfway, and Ness. That's one of the two changes for Notts County this evening. Replaced Rob McDonald after his injury. He's going to be out for a couple of weeks for the League Two side. It's a nice dink into the middle for Robertson. He tried a backheel for Jatta. That would have been something if it came off. It didn't. Brackley Town clear their lines. Only as far as Ness, who gets a header to halfway. Here's Tyrese Hall. Bit of space for him to operate. Haven't seen too much of the Tottenham loanee tonight so far. Sends it for Cerullo. Cerullo with 2 of 3 in red and white shirts ahead of him. And Hall's ball is loose and picked up in midfield here. Brackley trying to scamper forward in the shape of Morgan Roberts, but too many green shirts around him for him to be effective. And at the moment, Brackley looking like they are most likely to strike on the break, but Notts County with plenty of possession in these last few minutes. Salvin Martin.
Well, certainly Ness made a timely intervention there, because Roberts got himself turned, the number 10 for Brackley, and he was running at Ness. Ness one-on-one put paid to that move, but if it had got past Ness, he was in. So they've had moments, and they've certainly grown into the game, Brackley.
Well, Morgan Roberts, brother of Burnley's Connor Roberts. Defeat for Burnley against Arsenal today in the Premier League. I'll take you through some of the reaction from the day's games at half-time here on Talksport 2. A reminder still to come on Talksport, 8 o'clock kickoff. It's Liverpool against Aston Villa in the Premier League. Right now, though, it's a Brackley free kick sent towards the box, and it's heads rising, and it's helped back towards goal, and it's turned in! Well, the offside flag is up, and Gareth Dean's celebrations are cut short. Well, it was hoisted high towards the penalty area, sent back across goal, and as fireworks go off in the background, unfortunately for Brackley Town, these celebrations are cut short. It remains 1-1.
Well, it's a let-off for Notts County, there's no doubt about it. It was a great ball to the far post. I think it's Lilly who actually got to it and helped it back in.
Well, given away to Pollock here. Now it's Lowe, scorer of the equaliser, wide right for Brackley. The home side sensing they can find something to get in front before the break. Pollock in the box, need to scramble for it. Hooked away by Notts County, but only towards the edge of the penalty area. Picked up here, and the strike from range is a superb one and has to be tipped away by Rose. Shane Byrne there, unleashing from 25 yards. destined for the top corner until the glove of the Dutchman saved the day for Notts County.
That's a very good save. Right behind it, weren't we? And he struck it ever so well. It really was a great strike by Byrne. It was going top right-hand corner as we were looking at it. And that left hand came out. He's a huge frame, isn't he, Rules, the goalkeeper? Really good save.
That's a wonderful strike. He has earned Brackley a corner into the final minute of normal time at the end of this first half on Talksport 2. Can Price deliver? Brackley Town have certainly caused problems in this first half and looking to do more. Lifted in towards the 6-yard box, and Rose is able to claim fairly comfortably in the end. Wasn't under any pressure and will boot this long. Through the heads, and Calder clears at the back for Brackley. There's a bit of a scuffle in midfield, but it's dropped for Jatta here. Lovely sliding challenge from Lily. The home fans like that. He got back to his feet to complete the clearance as well. Warmly applauded by the home fans, who are enjoying what they're seeing so far from the National League side. This contest certainly in the balance as we head towards the break.
Well, it certainly hasn't been as comfortable. I think it started off being very much that for Notts County, not now. And there's tackles like that by Lily that lift the crowd.
2 additional minutes are going to be added on at the end of this first half, and Notts County looking to work down the left-hand side. Nottingham cutting that out there before it could reach Jody Jones. A diagonal ball into a useful-looking area for the away side, but they've got a throw in instead. Midway inside the Brackley half. It's with Jody Jones. Trying to drag the ball under his studs to move backwards away from Nottingham, and settles for winning the throw off the Brackley man. Ness now at the back here for Notts County. Carries it over halfway. Has pressure coming from Morgan Roberts. It's just been popped around at the back again by the League Two side, who led through Jatta but have been pegged back by Matt Lowe. Here's Lewis Macari. Now Cerula. Again, wide right for Notts County, but patient stuff here. They are possession-based side, but they've looked into the channel here for Jatta. He made the run, but Dean was alert to it. Applause from Jatta for the delivery from Ness, and it's gone out. And it's going to be a Notts County set piece. Jones is coming across. Wasn't quite clear if that went out for a throw or a corner. We'll find out in just a second as we peer above the fans 2 or 3 deep in front of the railings in front of us. It's going to be a corner for Jody Jones to take. 30 seconds or so of the 2 minutes that we were promised to be added on at the end of this first half. Brackley 1, Notts County 1 in the FA Cup on Talksport 2. Jones sizing up the delivery. It's a deep one to the back post, and it's met by a Brackley head. Out for another corner on the far side this time, the Notts County left. Jones will have to trot across to take it. He will have time to do so. Lily, who rose there, was a good header away. And Brackley just have to dominate their penalty area one more time, get to the break, reset with Gavin Cowan, their boss, and plot what they can do in the second half. But Notts County with other ideas before the break. The likes of Bedo and Jatta looking to attack this for the League Two side. In it comes towards Jatta, and it's going to go out of play. And there are some arguments about whether it should have been a corner or not, but it doesn't matter because that is the half-time whistle from Ben Atkinson, and warm applause from the home fans who've seen their side come back from a goal down to equalise and make it 1 apiece at the break here at St James's Park. Alassana Jatta's header on 13 minutes, beating Johnny Maxted. It was a lovely cross into the middle to meet him from Jody Jones, but Matt Lowe equalising just before the half hour. Making it Brackley 1, Notts County 1. Alvin Marty, what are your thoughts on that first half?
Well, I think it ended. I think the second half will be interesting because I think they need to come out with that fire that we were talking about before, Mike. You know, I think that they come out a little bit sluggish, and it was a really comfortable evening up to a point for Notts County. They got themselves in front, and they struggled to really get to grips with it with Notts County. As soon as they pressured it a little bit more, they got the opening. Then all of a sudden it was an even game. So I think that certainly Gavin Cowan will be the happier manager, and I think that Patterson he will not be happy after taking the lead. They didn't really take control of the game, and he just gradually let Brackley Town get back in it.
And so far as well, we've not seen the best of Notts County. There's been a couple of moments. Jatta with that chance, which was a wonderful block from Calder to deny him. If he'd taken it a bit quicker, then perhaps it could have been 2-0 and the game might have been heading towards essentially being over, but it's not. And that is such a key moment in the contest, isn't it?
Absolutely. Look, it is all about moments, isn't it? And I think you have to make the most of them. You can go a long way in the FA Cup by riding your luck and nicking goals maybe when you don't deserve. But certainly with Hall and Yatta, they will feel Notts County, if they get the service into that front too, then they've got more goals in them. But they haven't really played with any control around the final third. You can see that they've got ability, but they haven't been able to knit that together. And it's been Brackley really who I think deserved to go in, even Stevens.
Well, we have got a game on here in the FA Cup first round. Brackley Town 1, Notts County 1, National League meeting League 2, and at the moment, even Stevens on Talksport 2.
Your live sports station.
Oh, what a move. This is Talksport 2. At Lexi's Cafe, it's spiced pumpkin latte season, and the only thing scarier than the lunchtime rush is the Wi-Fi going down. That's why Lexi chose BT's enhanced business broadband. It's a secure, fast, reliable connection that won't ghost your business. Now 25% off in BT's Halloween sale, with no upfront cost. Search BT Business Broadband Deals. 25% off $39.95 excluding 20% VAT on 24 months enhanced 100. Ends 2nd of November. Terms apply.
There's never been a better time to join Sky.
Oh my God.
This autumn, for our lowest price, you won't just get all of Sky Sports with more Premier League and WSL games than ever before.
Staggering moments!
And every F1 race live.
Absolutely epic!
You'll also get unmissable entertainment from Sky and Netflix too.
We're going to have so much fun.
Visit sky.com. Sky. Believe in better. New Sky TV customers only. Requires Sky Stream and relevant Sky TV subscriptions. Minimum broadband speed of 25 megabits per second recommended. 18 plus.
School bags, wellies, footballs and a trumpet. When did the back seat become a dumping ground? If only you could clear the clutter and reset to zero. Well, you can. With the Mazda 0% sales event. Running from the 17th of October to the 10th of November. 0% APR across the Mazda range. Search Mazda. Available on PCP when financed through Mazda Financial Services by 31st December 25. Indemnities may be required. Terms apply. See website.
Buy now with up to 12 months to pay. Sofas and smartphones, cozy duvet. 12 months to stay, 12 months to stay. With Very Pay, babe.
Get up to 12 months to pay when you shop at Very. Plus, there's nothing to pay at checkout. Search Very Pay today. Very. Let's make it sparkle. Very Pay credit provided subject status by Shop Direct Finance Company Limited. 18 plus representative 44.9% APR variable.
It's the last chance to get yourself a ticket for tonight's Lotto draw.
It could be you.
Lotto from the National Lottery. Rules and procedures apply. Players must be 18 or over.
We're the dirty secret in your drains.
We may start as a nasty little nymph,
But we get more powerful.
crawling up your pipes
Choking your toilet.
until it's all aboard the express train to drain pain.
When your drains become a total horror show, call Metro Rod. Metro Rod's heroes are on hand 24/7 to nuke all the nasty surprises in your pipes. For sanitation salvation, visit metrorod.co.uk. Metro Rod, here to save the day.
Feel the thrill. Team Sport Indoor Karting. Save 10% with the code GET10 at team-sports.co.uk.
At Lidl, there's always more to value. Like saving £28 on this week's Big Shop when you switch to Lidl Plus from Tesco Club Card. See the shop at lidl.co.uk/save. Lidl, more to value. 18 plus GB only. Offer ends 5th of the 11th, 25. Price check 20th of the 10th, 25 and pro-rated based on size. Tesco also sell other products. Excludes multi-buys, T's and C's apply.
Switching to Vodafone full fibre broadband is now as easy as pie. Ooh, freshly baked. It's a walk in the park. Hello, little fella. It's like taking candy from a baby. Come on, as if I'd do that. With One Touch Switch, it's easy. We sort everything out for you. We even contact your current provider. Plus, we'll help towards leaving fees. Switch today to full fibre broadband with Vodafone.
Up to £200 credit to cover leaving fees. More information and terms at vodafone.co.uk/broadband.
I'm Jeff Stelling. It's another monumental, massive Monday night of live and exclusive Premier League football on Talksport. He's gone straight in! Sunderland go head-to-head with Everton. Get blistering big match build-up from 7 with furious full-match commentary from 8. Oh, what about that? It's a fully combustible Monday night of live and exclusive 5-star Premier League football on Talksport.
The unstoppable force of live football.
FA Cup Game Day Live.
On Talksport 2.
Welcome back to St James's Park. Brackley Town 1, Notts County 1 in the FA Cup first round here on Talksport 2. It's been a great day so far. And coming up later on Talksport, a massive game from the Premier League. Liverpool hosting Aston Villa.
No title challenge for decades has withstood a run of 4 successive Premier League defeats.
Doing loads of business and it's all over the place. It feels like you're spinning plates with everything, every position.
He's moaning about the squad here now that he hasn't got the strength for depth. Well, that's his fault by spending all that money on.
The drama fast becoming a crisis. Liverpool 0, Palace 3.
They're defending their title. This has been a poor defence.
First of all, we need to be ready for Aston Villa.
And Aston Villa have beaten Manchester City at Villa Park.
The players, they are mature. And they are showing their responsibility as well.
And then win 4 on the bounce.
You know, everyone around the club worked for Unai Emery, even the sporting directors above him.
Is the end of the crisis in sight? Villa at home here on Saturday is now a game of epic proportion.
Well, ahead of the game, Liverpool boss Arne Slot says he's more than aware of the threat Villa pose.
It's also a sign that it's better to do it the way they did it than the way we did it. So if you don't win in the beginning, people are like, oh, maybe they don't have the same team as last season or whatever, and then they start to win, and then everything is very positive again. We're with us. I think it's exactly the opposite. So, but we're both on the same points, and apart from Arsenal, I think many teams are in and around the same points. So again, it tells you also how hard the Premier League is, and yeah, they've done very well in the last 5, 6, 7 or 8 games. And that didn't come as a surprise, because even in the games they've lost before, you could already see the signs that they are a very good team and their playing style is really good. And normally, although with us the run is already quite long, you don't every time lose a game of football where you create more chances than the other team. But they decided not to make a habit out of that. And let's hope we decide not to make a habit out of having more chances than your opponent.
Liverpool boss Arne Slot. Well, Aston Villa coming into this game in excellent form, and Villa boss Unai Emery saying despite 4 consecutive league defeats for Liverpool, he expects them and their new signings to click soon.
Massive respect. Of course, they can have some moment they are not getting good result, but the coach, he showed last year his capacity and his experience, knowledgement, and how they played last year was amazing as a team. Tactically, I think their impact was fantastic, and they won the Premier League. And this year, the same coach, better players, but I think they are in the moment to adapt everything. They are building the team, clearly building the team. And they will need maybe time to get comfortable and strong with the player they have.
So Liverpool against Aston Villa live at 7:30 on Talksport tonight. Kick-off in that one in our Talksport exclusive at 8. Well, here on Talksport 2 live boxing, Joshua Buatsi taking on Zach Parker. That is an all-British light heavyweight clash live from the Manchester Co-op Arena. Right here, though, in the FA Cup first round, it is Brackley 1, Notts County 1. So we're all set to get underway. Brackley Town, as we look at it, attacking from right to left, the stand which contains the Notts County fans who travelled. Now Jones looking to whip it into the middle. Jatter's header, 1-0. Notts County strike their first ever on goal in the 12th minute, and it is the man with 5 in 5 now, Alassane Jatta. Jones whipping in the delivery. It drops to Jatta on his chest, and he has the strike. And a wonderful challenge to recover there from Ricardo Calder. Well, that may well be a crucial challenge from Calder in the context of the game, Alvin Martin.
Absolutely. I think Jatta will certainly be a little annoyed at himself. He didn't get the shot away and pull the trigger a little quicker.
It's knocked in by Little. The header towards goal is in. Brackley Town equalise, and it's Matt Lowe. Well, Brackley Town, the National League side, are level.
That's made a game of it now. You look at the way the game could go either way now. You've got to say that the last 10 minutes they've been asking a lot more questions.
Well, it's already been a cracking day in the FA Cup first round. Friday night wasn't bad either. Luton Forest Green ended 4-3. One apiece here. Earlier on today, National League sides Boreham Wood, Carlisle and Gateshead getting themselves through against EFL opposition. Carlisle coming from 2-0 down to win 3-2 at League One. Reading, Gateshead beating AFC Wimbledon 2-0 at Plough Lane. Boreham Wood easing to a 3-0 win over troubled Crawley of League Two. Chelmsford thrashing Braintree earlier on in the Essex Derby in the first game of the day, and we are waiting to find out whether it'll be Brackley Town or Notts County to make it through to the second round, and it must be decided tonight. Extra time or penalties if needed. But at the moment, Martin Patterson, Notts County boss, will be hoping for much better from his side after they led in the 13th minute from Alassane Jatta, but were pegged back by Matt Lowe on 28 minutes here at St James's Park. And just looking at the two benches, Alvin Martin alongside me, Mike McCarthy ahead of the second half, there are certainly options for Martin Patterson to go for. Tommy Orpenda, the young 20-year-old on loan from Huddersfield, has impressed early so far. He might be someone who could make an impact. And of course there's Matthew Dennis as well, who is their top scorer this season. Although he hasn't scored that many recently, there's certainly firepower that Martin Patterson can call upon.
Yeah, I think the supply's got to be better, Mike. It's no good having these players there if you're not going to get the ball into them in the vital areas. Look, I think from Brackley Town's point of view, they've got to go for it. You think they could be in the hat. They've got 45 minutes here. They're on level terms. Have a real go. Take some chances. Get the crowd going. Certainly coming into the last sort of 20 minutes, if you're still level, I think it's up to you to say, look, we're going to have a right go at this and take chances and take risks and take the initiative of the game.
Well, I mentioned Notts County as they come out of the tunnel, and we await the Brackley Town players. Extra time and penalties could be on the way if it's still level. If you're Brackley Town and you're one of the few semi-professional sides still in the National League, you don't necessarily want that, and I guess that's another reason for Gavin Cowan to say, look, make this happen in 90. It's your best opportunity to make that happen.
Well, look, I'm sure if you said that it was going to go to penalties, I think Brackley Town would bite your hand off, and certainly Gavin Cowan would say, okay, we'll take that. We've matched a team that are in a higher division than us, and it's an exciting thing, isn't it, to witness you make heroes out of your goalkeeper. It might be a hero, but certainly the winning penalty taker, will live off it and dine off it for many years to come. But look, it's all still in there for him. They've done okay. They've matched Notts County, but they've got to be a bit better than that. They've got to more than match Notts County, and that means taking the edge on the game.
Well, the Brackley Town players are making their way out. The PA announcer is making sure the home fans get behind the home side as well. And there is a change for Notts County, and it's Tommy Orpenda who is coming on, the young loanee from Huddersfield. And it's Tyrese Hall, the on-loan Tottenham man, who drifted in and out of the game. We didn't see an awful lot from him in that opening 45 minutes, who has seen himself replaced. It'll be interesting to see what impact Tommy Orpenda can have on the game. Impressed very early in his Notts County days. 3 assists for the season. Lost his place in the last couple of games, though. And in terms of his FA Cup pedigree, well, he was in the Huddersfield side in the first round that lost at Tamworth this time last year. It was a plastic pitch that day, as Martin Patterson and his coaching staff sprinting back out. The Notts County and Brackley Town benches filling up. Referee back with us, Ben Atkinson. So change, and it's Martin Patterson who has moved first. Alvin Martin alongside me, Mike McCarthy. We're live on Talksport 2 There's the second half about to get underway. Brackley Town 1, Notts County 1. There's the whistle. And Notts County in green shirts, shorts and white socks, attacking from right to left as we look at it, attacking the ranks of Notts County fans who were gathered, most of them under shelter, some of them in the uncovered terracing, and I call it terracing. It is basically a rail that is keeping them from the pitch behind the goal to our right-hand side with a roof over it. As for Brackley, red and white striped shirts, red shorts, red socks, attacking the Francis Oliver stand to our right-hand side, which is where the most vocal of the Brackley Town fans are. Beddoe helping it to Jody Jones. First chance for Notts County to attack in this second half. It's Norburn, 25 yards from goal. Central position, just sets it back for Robertson. Jones plays it to Robertson again. Notts County, as they did at the end of the first half, trying to build a bit of patient possession. Might see a bit of a horseshoe developing around the Brackley Town penalty area as they try and pick a way through. Sarula now can't keep it in play far side. Brackley Town have forced him out of play and win themselves a throw. The assistant referee on the halfway line just in front of us, bouncing up and down. There is a bit of a chill in the air here now at St James's Park. Brackley Town will want to apply pressure in the same way that they did for very decent portions of that first half, Alvin Martin. There's certainly chances for them in this game if they want to take them.
Yeah, they've got to apply that pressure and force the issue really. They've got a record as well. Notts County have improved in the second half, Mike. So you'd expect them to get stronger as the game went on. So it's very important that they get the crowd on side again. Brackley, get corners, get a few free kicks, as we said in the first half. Really, I'm surprised they haven't dominated possession as much as they have. With the good footballers they've got, Notts County. You look at Robertson and Northern. They're really good footballers.
It's just about headed away. Apologies, Alvin, but it's Notts County who were just briefly on the attack there. Brackley Town have dealt with it and won a free kick midway inside their own half. In fact, it's gone the other way. It's going to be a Notts County free kick. Inside right, 35 yards from goal. Jody Jones just trotting across with the ball, clearly fancies this. And Johnny Maxted in the Brackley Town goal might be suitably concerned enough for a wall. And there are two Brackley players who are just setting themselves for exactly that purpose. I'll take you back through the two lineups in a few moments, but we need to just have a look at this free kick for Notts County. Jody Jones standing over it. Just the one goal this season, but it was his cross that led to the opener for Jatta. And it's Jones sizing up the opportunity here. It'll be some effort, and he's got a two-man wall in front of him and a fair distance, a good 35 yards for the ball to travel. Plenty forward on the edge of the penalty area for Notts County in green, looking to get on the end of this from Jones, who goes for goal himself. It's a great effort, and it's tipped round the post superbly by Johnny Maxted. Well, Kelleros made an excellent save in the first half, tipping it away from the top corner of that goal. And Johnny Maxted has just done the same. 1-1 it remains.
Well, it's very similar, isn't it? More or less the same top corner that we've seen the other save from. That really was. Maxted was full length there. I thought, to be fair, he was too far out there to cause a problem, Jones, but he certainly did cause a problem. Great execution.
Well, here's the corner, whipped in towards the near post. Nottingham gets his head to it. Handball claims from the Notts County players, as is Little who got on the end of it, but no penalty given, and it's Brackley breaking away. Here's Morgan Roberts. He's got red shirts arriving with him. Plenty in the box now. Into the middle it goes. And in the 6-yard box, Kelleros dips together. And there were plenty who were looking to get on the end of that, but it didn't fall to a red and white shirt. End-to-end stuff there, though, and it's come through for Grant. Grant round the goalkeeper, goes down in stages, but the referee gives the penalty. Grant appeared to try and stay on his feet before going to ground. Maxted, in the referee's view, has clipped him, and Notts County have a spot kick 4 minutes into this second half. Now, was that a genuine attempt from the goalkeeper to get the ball? Yellow card is the decision from the referee, so Maxted will be able to stay on the pitch, but he's got to face a penalty.
Well, the game's exploded into life, hasn't it? Really has. That could have gone either way there. A lovely break by Brackley Town, and they're straight really from getting repossession. They've got themselves through. I think the referee's made absolutely the right decision there. He's gone through. The keeper has gone for it. There was contact, definite penalty. but I think he was gone away from goal, and it was a genuine attempt to get the ball.
Yeah, the old triple jeopardy stuff coming in there. Maxted, though, who's already made a terrific save in this second half, will now have to face Jody Jones again. Last time from 35 yards, this time from 12. Jones, who scored a penalty on the opening day of the season at Newport. Most of his recent goals have been penalties. Boos from the home fans as Jody Jones just sweeps his hands through his hair. The referee just issuing his instructions to those on the edge of the penalty area. As Jody Jones takes a few steps back from the ball, he'll address this left-footed. It's Jones in front of the Notts County fans. Brackley fans trying to put him off. Jones stepping up, sending the goalkeeper the wrong way. Notts County back in front 5 minutes into the second half. Jones from the penalty spot. It is Brackley 1, Notts County 2.
Oh, very good penalty. Just waited for the keeper to make the move and just slid it in the other corner. You just wonder what's going to go now. They've came back once. Can they do it again, really, Brackley? They've got to take the game to Notts County, but I think Notts County will look for a third now. I think they maybe sat on that one goal lead, and it was a mistake in the first half, Mike. I think this half, I think they will go, and this could end up, 3-1 certainly, in my opinion.
Well, Jody Jones went close with a free kick, but he made no mistake with the penalty. Firmly executed into the corner. That is his second of the season. His last non-penalty goal was last September, but he is reliable from the spot. And Jody Jones, who created the first for Jatta, has his name on the score sheet now, and Brackley Town, the National League side, once again with it all to do. They have shown moments of quality, Brackley. They have had the ball in the net. They have to raise themselves. A team that came in as the lowest scorers in the National League will have to find another to take this game beyond 90 minutes. Here's Price on halfway for the home side. Just sends it to Lilly. I promise you I will take you through the lineups again in just a moment, but it's Brackley Town on the attack. It's been a lively start to this second half. Calder, handball claims and given by the referee. It's a free kick near the corner flag for Brackley Town. So Brackley with Maxted in goal, Nottingham, Dean and Lilly the back three. I should say actually Nottingham is wide right with Little in the back three. Byrne, Price holding him in midfield. Calder on the left of that cross, which was just handballed for the free kick. Pollock and Roberts providing support to Matt Lowe, scorer of the first equaliser for Brackley Town. They are hoping for a second, perhaps, to come from this set piece. As for Notts County, Kelleros the goalkeeper, Macari, Ness and Beddoe the back three. Cerula, Robertson, Norburn and Jones, scorer of the second from the penalty spot in midfield. Connor Grant and the replacement Tom Pender providing the assistance to Alassana Jatta, who got the first Notts County goal in the first half in the 13th minute. But Brackley looking for a response here. Plenty in the box as Price whips it in and the whistle's gone, I think, before the ball came in. So Brackley will have another opportunity to send this in towards the 6-yard box. The initial one was headed away by Ness, but the referee was clearly not happy that Price had taken it quite so quickly. Just trying to get eyes on everything, the referee. You need to have eyes on the back of your head with all the pushing and shoving that goes on in the penalty area. And it comes from Price now towards the back stick and headed over the top. Really decent opportunity. And Matt Lowe is pounding the turf as he sees his header sail over the crossbar. He was diving to meet it, but he can't get it on target. And it remains Brackley 1, Notts County 2 on 53 minutes on Talksport 2.
Well, chance, no doubt about it, but I think Robertson just made it uncomfortable for him. He just did enough to put him off. I think maybe Roos as well. He's not as dominant in the air as you'd expect him to be. He's a 6'4" goalkeeper. You'd expect him to be coming and dominating that area, but the ball was delivered there.
It's cut out by Brackley before it got to Pender. So it's... I was going to say Lowe coming away with it, but he's been dispossessed by Beddoe, and now Jatta getting away from a couple of challenges in the middle of the Brackley half. The referee's come back for a free kick, though. Jatta was caught, and he played an advantage temporarily, the referee. Notts County keen to get the ball moving again, but they can't do so. Morgan Roberts is down at the moment, the Welshman. So it's going to be a moment to see whether he will need any treatment.
Do you feel they've got another gear, don't you? Notts County, they just haven't slipped into it enough for me. But you can see that they have got the players. They've got to obviously make that pay now. But they're just starting to take a little bit more control. And when they do go forward and lose possession, Brackley Town, I think there's a bit more adventure to Notts County.
Well, they came in as heavy favourites, Notts County. They are starting to look like it. Jody Jones standing over this free kick inside left, midway inside the Brackley half. Again, Brackley holding a line on the edge of the area as Jones whips it in left-footed, curling towards the back post. The heads go up and the referee says offside. Thanks to the flag from the assistant. I think there were some more handball claims coming in from Notts County players, but that all made moot by the fact that the offside flag had been raised. And it remains Brackley 1, Notts County 2.
He wasn't too far away from that, was he? Again, I'm waiting for him to do something. He's the player on the pitch at the moment that you think if the ball goes to him, something special could happen.
He's a man making up for lost time. He missed the first half dozen games of the season, first with a 5-game ban, which was carried over from last season and his red card in the playoff semi-final against AFC Wimbledon. And then he had a back spasm of well, but he's got his 6th goal of the season, and he's certainly been lively. Could have had a second in the first half, but it's Notts County in possession. Jacob Beddoe just working it into the centre circle, and Robertson. Here's your Pender, the on-loan Huddersfield man. Standing 6'3", did start as a youth player out wide, but moved in field as he grew into his giant frame. Beddoe just helping it wide left here for Jody Jones up against Nottingham here. Just shadowing him at the moment as Beddoe had made a nice run towards the edge of the area of the centre half there. Jones couldn't quite find him. Back in Notts County hands though with Norburn, and back to the goalkeeper Keller Rose. You mentioned that they've certainly developed things in second halves, Notts County. The manager Martin Patterson's made impacts from the bench as well. 5 goals from substitutes this season, the joint most in League 2. He is clearly a boss who can impact the game. I guess the counter to that is, if some might argue that maybe he should do better from the start of the game, but I think that's a little cruel.
But I'm sure Gavin Cowan would love the options that that Patterson has got on the bench. But as you said, it's about playing them at the right time. Like I said, the important thing is now that psychologically they look at adding to the scoreline and not trying to see this game out too early.
Well, if he needs a miracle, he can call on one. Miracle Offerfall, the number 9 for Brackley Town. He's not played an awful lot of football. It's Notts County who are just settling into some more comfortable possession among the back 3. There are attacking options for Gavin Cowan to call upon. Danny Waldron, we mentioned a little bit earlier, who scored 3 in his last 4 games and had a really decent run in the side, his longest run in the side of the season. And has got a bit of FA Cup pedigree as well. At the moment, the substitutes are just trotting up and down the far side in front of the family stand at St James's Park.
Look a bit shaken at the moment, Brackley. They're in a bit of a rut, aren't they? They don't know quite what to do. 2-1 down. Do they commit and try and get people forward, or do they sit and make sure they don't concede another? At the moment, they're in between.
Yeah, the penalty came, didn't it, from them sending several bodies forward, and at the other end they were caught as Grant went through and was brought down by Maxted for the penalty. But they've won it nicely here, and it's worked for Little. Wide right towards the penalty area he comes. Early cross into the middle. The header off the crossbar. Has it crossed the line? Brackley claiming that it has, but the referee says no, and goal kick. Well, Brackley Town could not have come closer. Morgan Roberts meeting the header. It hit the underside of the bar, bounced down, seemed to hit the crossbar again. Keller Rose was nowhere near it, and somehow it's been scrambled away, and it's gone for a goal kick. So close to a Brackley equaliser, but it remains Brackley Town 1, Notts County 2.
Well, it was Little on this right-hand side for Brackley. He puts a lovely ball in, and Roberts gets there before the big goalkeeper Roos. How that has not gone in, I do not know. It hit the underside of the bar, bounced down, and that's got to be inches. Mike, I can't believe that's not a goal.
Well, we're just having a look, some of our TV colleagues having a watch and seeing if this has crossed the line or not, but there seems to be some shaking of the heads, but that seemed to defy the laws of physics. We may get another angle of this actually as we just watch the cross from Little. It is a superb ball in, hits the underside of the bar twice before it's cleared, and Roberts hurt himself as well in the process and bounced down on the line but not over the line. Well, a crucial decision by the officials, and it appears that they've got it right.
Wow.
Incredible.
I don't think I've ever seen anything like that. I've never seen a ball hit the underside of the bar and bounce twice, hit the bar again and then come out. It's just incredible, because he headed that from 6 yards? I mean, the ball in was fantastic, and that is an enormous stroke of good luck for Notts County and bad luck for Brackley Town. And if you're going to go through to the next round, you're Brackley Town, you need this to hit the back of the net.
Just on the line. Absolutely incredible. The force of the header off the underside of the bar, onto the line, onto the crossbar again.
Credit to the officials.
Extraordinary.
We're always having a go at officials, but credit to the officials to see that with the naked eye without any replay is good refereeing.
Well, they certainly should get all the credit that is deserved there. An hour gone, somehow, still Brackley 1, Notts County 2. This has been a tremendous cup tie so far. And Brackley Town showing that they are still very much in this.
That could lift the crowd as well. A moment like that, could lift the crowd.
And it didn't take much from the build-up, because they had sat in, but then they pounced on the moment that they had to try and break away. At the other end, here's your Pender on the left wing here. Just eases back into his own half. And Notts County through Ness, just regathering possession. Norburn picking it up on halfway. And they are back up to their full complement of 11 now. Roberts, having received treatment after his header somehow stayed out. Absolutely jaw-dropping chance that somehow didn't cross the line. Burns won a throw midway inside the Notts County half for Brackley Town here. He went pretty close in the first half as well. That dipping, curling effort that Kellerose had to palm away from the top corner.
That chance, they hit the bar twice. It came at a time when it looked like they were lacking ideas and belief, and it was a really good quality ball put in from the right here.
Well, it's a good ball coming in from Pollock now, and it's just beyond Calder, who couldn't bring it under his spell on the stretch. He's had to move way out of the penalty area to retrieve possession. Left wing here for Brackley, up against Cerula, looking to find an angle for the cross. And Cerula dives in with the challenge, puts it out for a throw, signalled by the referee, Ben Atkinson. And we are watching as looks like Michael Nottingham is going to come across and get ready for a long throw.
Good reaction, though, to conceding a goal. Going 2-1 down. They've responded very well as a team.
Well, they're not going to be wondering at the end of the game, are they? They are giving this a real go, Brackley Town. They're a club that have big plans for the future right now. They are plotting a way back into this FA Cup tie. 62 gone. Brackley 1, Notts County 2 on Talksport 2. Nottingham with the long throw. I say a long throw, it's not particularly long. And it's met by Notts County and put out a play near halfway for a throw into the home side. If they can get back into this, we mentioned extra time and penalties if necessary. They do have a decent penalty record, Brackley Town. Their last 2 wins in the FA Cup first round coming via that method, including against Braintree last year. But they've got some work to do. They could not have come closer to an equaliser. They will have to come closer somehow. Jatta on halfway for Notts County, just nodding it back into midfield. Grant now, who won the penalty. Jody Jones converted to make it 2-1 to the League 2 side. It's picked up by Grant again, still just inside his own half, looking for the run of Jatta, who's trying to get away from Dean. He's a very experienced defender, Dean, and just about deals with the situation. Here's Tyler Little with a bit of an opportunity to burst towards halfway. It was his wonderful cross that was met by Roberts and hit the crossbar twice with that header. Still shaking my head at that. Brackley still with it. It's their turn to build a bit of possession. Dean just a little bit behind Little. He has to come to halfway to retrieve it. And there's, with that slightly misplaced pass, then came the pressure from Robertson, and it's just one tiny error. Then all of a sudden Notts County's press was activated and they had to work extremely hard there, Brackley, just to keep hold of the ball. Price now. Again, they've worked it to halfway. Here's Roberts. There's Norburn in front of him, so goes square for Burn. Just in the centre circle. Now Little on the right. And he hits the shins of your Pender, who's claiming the throw. It's going to be a Brackley ball. Taken quickly. Worked out towards Nottingham. Nottingham looking for an angle for himself. Plenty of traffic in front of him, and he's lost out here. Robertson now. Grant sweeping it forward, looking for the run of your Pender, but just a little bit beyond him. And it's Johnny Maxted who will claim and bowl out overarm into the feet of Lilly. 65 on the watch. 25 minutes or so for Brackley Town to find a way back for the second time in this match. Well, Kevin Cowan ahead of the game was saying to his players, dare to make a mistake, otherwise you live with regrets. Well, they are trying to find a way forward here. Little, Nottingham having his shirt pulled. Beddoe is going to carry this forward for Notts County and win the throw. Smart defending by the centre half, who's made over 200 appearances in the EFL since making his debut as a 16-year-old. Played every minute in League Two so far, a key part of the Notts County back line. Here's a key part of the Notts County attacking threat. Jody Jones, looks like we're going to see some changes on the far side. The board was just flashing for a moment here, but not before Notts County try and slip it through to Grant from your Pender. Big clearance coming from Maxted. And it's Lowe trying to get underneath it, and he'll have to try and chase. It was an attempted flick on. Beddoe and Robertson exchanging passes before it's put out of play. And Brackley will be able to have the throw. Still waiting for a Notts County change on the far side. It may be a double change. In fact, there are two stripped and ready to go. Just waiting for the board to go up and confirm who it is, but it appears that Matt Dennis is among them. Top scorer this season. Another threat. Keenan Bennett as well, it appears to be the man who is also going to be introduced by Martin Patterson, the Notts County head coach. Little, though, picking it up wide right here for Brackley Town. Into the area it goes. Pollock looking to dig out the cross. Oh, Roberts couldn't quite bring it down on his chest. It's come as far as Byrne, though, 30 yards from goal. Price now trying to help it into the D, but can't find a teammate. Grant coming away with it for Notts County. Jatta might be withdrawn soon if Dennis is going to be introduced. He's lost out there in midfield. Price in the centre circle for Brackley. Feeds it to Little, has a bit of space to work with. Nottingham wide right has Akers, but he's gone in field and it can't quite make its way towards Pollock. A good clearance coming in from Cerula, who is tripped as he did so. Free kick Notts County inside their own penalty area, and now the changes are coming for the League Two side.
Yeah, Little again, he was in a right-hand side. He had lots of time and space on, but just picked the wrong option. He had a ball on the outside of him that maybe he should have played, and the one he did play wasn't really accurate enough. And when you're in that final third, it's got to be perfect.
The changes coming then. Connor Grantley first to be withdrawn for Notts County as they make their second and third changes of the evening. Keenan Bennett is going to be introduced, and we're also seeing the number 25 raised. That is Nick Cerula, who is coming off, and so Dennis coming on for him. So that's going to require a little bit of a reshuffle, but it appears with Dennis coming on they are going two up top, try and add some further pressure, something different to think about for Brackley Town, who have conceded one to Jatta and now have a two-headed monster in the shape of Dennis and Jatta up there to deal with. Here's Nottingham, tries to slip it past Beddoe for Lowe, but across comes Ness. Firm clearance into the crowd here. The home crowd still very much in the game, so are Brackley Town in this FA Cup first round tie on Talksport 2. 22 minutes to go. Lowe trying to win a throw and does so. Well, Notts County on the defensive at the moment, just trying to work out what they've done with their shape here. Bennett looks like he's gone wide right. It may just be the one in behind rather than the two in behind up front for Notts County with Dennis and Jatta. Dennis does say that one can play off the other. Dennis will try and get around high balls coming in, but it's a high ball into the box here for Brackley. The header on from Lowe is just about dealt with by the League Two side. And it's worked back to this right-hand side and a little for Brackley. Calder. And Jatta just has to play the ball around him. to find Price, who looks on the diagonal. And Little, first time on the volley, couldn't find Nottingham. Danny Waldron, looks like he's going to be brought on here for Brackley very soon, as they look to show a little bit more ambition going forward, and another forward player being introduced shortly for the National League side. We've had moments in this second half. It's a period of the game where things are just going through the motions, and Brackley can't really afford that. They need to try and build some pressure, Alvin Martin.
Well, I think Martin Patterson has certainly made changes to try and win the game here. It's back to the scoreline. I think there were signs that they're just starting to get into the game a little bit more, Brackley Town, and they did that in the first half and ended up getting level. So I think it's a positive change, changes that Patterson's made.
Notts County on the attack. 2-1 they lead here at St James's Park, and a sliding challenge comes in from Lilly, concedes the corner. Won't be a change coming just yet, given it's a set piece, you would think, although the fourth official just does seem to be striding towards the halfway line. Can't imagine that Gavin Cowan would want to make the change just from this set piece, but Callum Stewart is going to be the other substitute to come on, the on-loan Shrewsbury man. But, they're not going to make the changes just yet. There is a bus queue of Notts County players just near the penalty spot, looking to find some room when they break away, and the Brackley defenders trying to find blocks. In it comes towards the near post, and Bello flicked on but not helped towards a green shirt. Hooked clear only as far as Makari, who tries to get it back towards your Pender near the edge of the area, but that's been cut out. Now Nottingham just shifts it back into the defensive third. There's an energy lift needed for Brackley here. Fireworks going off elsewhere around the bit of Northamptonshire we're in. Bonfire night not far away, but not quite yet, lads. Still, it is a Saturday. Notts County trying to create some fireworks of their own. Lovely ball into the middle, and a sliding challenge, a crucial one there from Tyler Little, preventing it from getting it towards Jatta. And Notts County increasing their advantage. 2-1 they still lead, 72 minutes gone.
Well, they had Jatta and Dennis there in the line. Either one was willing to take that ball. It would have been a tap-in for them. Really good defending by Little, sliding and clearing that.
Well, still Brackley waiting for these changes. Jones has gone across to take the corner in front of the Notts County fans in that corner. The single pylon which holds the floodlights. Again, the Notts County players around the penalty spot, trying to break away and find room once the corner comes in. It's going to be an in-swinger, left-footed from Jones, scorer of the penalty to make it 2-1. Climbing up high is Gareth Dean to head clear. As far as Robertson, that's a poor ball, has been picked up by Roberts here for Brackley. Little going down off the ball. The home fans wanted a free kick. It did seem to prevent him being involved in the breakaway, but nothing spotted by the officials. Brackley win it back here with Byrne. And now it's Calder who's having to scamper away from the attentions of your Pender. Clears down the line, it did go out of play, and now the changes will come. It's going to be Gavin Cowan's first switches of the game. He's still waiting. There's the referee who's calling across. Brackley Town player, I think. But it's Nottingham who's coming off. He's operated wide right for much of the evening. And so on comes Danny Waldron, and Callum Stewart is coming on for Morgan Roberts, who will be thinking for an awful long time about that header. A wonderful chance in the second half. Little's glorious cross, he met it so firmly that it hit the underside of the bar twice before bouncing away from goal. But Callum Stewart is on, a man who's been prolific before in National League North, went to Shrewsbury, has had a slightly difficult time, has actually played Notts County already this season with Shrewsbury. That was a loss, a 4-1 loss at Meadow Lane in August. looking to make happier memories in the final 15 minutes here. Brackley 1, Notts County 2. And a free kick for the home side. Just inside their own half. Well, Stewart and Waldron. Lowe has now moved to wing back, as he has done on occasions this season for Brackley. So Waldron going up top. A guy who's had his name in lights in the FA Cup before. Can he make another headline? Well, he's the target of this ball down the right, which is forced out of play, and the ball just bouncing in front of us, ricocheting off a few bodies before it'll be brought back into play by Little. There's plenty around the pitch for Brackley to get on with the game quickly. Byrne just inside Notts County territory, but has to go back to Dean. Jatta pursuing him. Maxted clearing long. Notts County readying a double change of their own in response to the Brackley Town substitutions. Those won't happen just yet. We feel battle continuing. Ness just back to his goalkeeper. 15 minutes to go on Talksport 2. Brackley Town of the National League 1, Notts County 2 of League 2. Notts County back in front early in the second half. A penalty from Jody Jones, having been won by Conor Grant, who was tripped by Maxted. Brackley had equalised in the first half through Matt Lowe after Jatta had scored early with a header. So Brackley Town are still very much alive here, still trying to find a way to force their way back into this game and potentially force extra time. Notts County at the back. Here's Macari. Macari just able to carry this over halfway. He's not been engaged yet by a Brackley Town defender. Robertson just helping it on the right hand side back in field. Here's Norburn. Well, it's patient defending from Brackley, but you get the feeling they need to win it back a little bit sooner, Alvin Martin.
I suppose it's clever as well from Notts County. Just they're frustrating Brackley Town. Then they're keeping all the ball, playing keep ball. They're 2-1 up. They're entitled to do that. They don't really know what to do, Brackley. They don't know where to press it, and if you are going to press, you have to press as a team.
That's a nice ball to Bennett. Bennett's near the corner flag, has to turn away from a couple of defenders before working it back towards halfway. Maz Kuya is among the substitutes that's coming on, and Will Jarvis as well, one of the exciting Notts County youngsters. Saw him in the EFL Trophy earlier this season. He had a real impact coming on against Barnsley in the second half of that game. Maybe he could have an impact for Notts County too here. As a long ball is sent for Jody Jones to chase. He went after it gamefully, but it was just a little bit too heavy for him, and it's going to be a Brackley Town goal kick. Not before these changes though. And that is Jody Jones's final contribution to the game. Maz Kuyar is going to come on for him. And as Bennett trots across the left-hand side to fill the position that Jody Jones has just vacated. Jones doing one of those runs that's somehow slower than a walk, which you might expect at this time of the game. The 1-goal advantage. Robertson also coming off. And confirmation that Will Jarvis, another forward, was brought in from Hull in January, used mostly from the bench since he came in, but he is making his FA Cup debut tonight. The club say that he's a player that can rise through the leagues with them. And he's got 12 minutes or so to make an impression here. Also going to be a Brackley change. The number's been raised. It's the number 27 of Colin Hall with Jack Price, the former Wolves man. His evening's work is done. He's come off up in this near side to warm applause from the home fans. That might be a sign that some legs are tiring, because Jack Price is certainly a quality operator for Brackley Town, but he's not going to be able to complete the 90. Connor Hall, top scorer, with 3 goals so far, which tells you a little bit about Brackley Town's issues this season with finding the net. And he's on here. Final 10 minutes. Brackley Town trying to find a way back. Brackley 1, Notts County 2. There's a ball back to the goalkeeper, which momentarily Matthew Dennis was showing some interest in. Safely back to Johnny Maxted in the Brackley Town goal. Here's Lilly then, launching it down the left flank, but out of play, and it's exactly the kind of ball that Brackley Town don't need at the moment. Reminder, still to come on Talksport Live boxing from the Co-op Arena. Joshua Buatsi taking on Zach Parker. That is a British light heavyweight clash, which you can hear on Talksport 2. On Talksport tonight, Liverpool, Aston Villa from the Premier League, 8 o'clock. That's our Talksport exclusive. The attendance here, 2,223. Not quite a record, but a very healthy crowd here at St James's Park. The majority of whom are urging the home side towards an equaliser. At the moment, Brackley Town just appear, Alvin Martin, to be running out of a bit of gas.
Yeah, I think there's an element of that, maybe know-how as well. They've made lots of changes, and they don't look like a team at the moment, a balanced outfit. Just wonder about that chance shot. It's incredible, really. The header from Roberts, a 2-1. It would have made it 2-2, and the game could have been completely different. That's the one they're going to be thinking about if it stays the same. Yeah, make sure if you have an opportunity to watch that later, because it is simply extraordinary how Brackley Town are not level. But that is the case, and it's patient stuff from Notts County. It's precise. Ness just losing his footing, but recovers. Second commentator's curse of the night. Yeah, he's been a really steady influence, hasn't he? He's been composed on the ball. He's made some timely interventions. It's been really good for Notts County tonight. Header from Pollock in towards Waldron in the centre circle. Your Pender fighting for it, but Waldron's come away with the ball, trying to feed it out towards the right flank, but there was a block challenge coming in from your Pender, who didn't give up on that situation. Did well there. Now it's knocked forward by Pollock, but to no one in particular. Hall hadn't made the run, neither had Stewart, and there's just a bit of a miscommunication there, and it's the sign of perhaps a few changes being made and not everyone quite on the same wavelength yet. 8 minutes for Brackley Town to try and find an equaliser on Talksport 2. Ness for Beddoe. Beddoe launching it down the line. Bennett's is in acres of space here. Jatter's in the middle, and Bennett slipped as he tried to cross. He's taken a chunk of turf with him as well, and Keenan Bennett will not want to see that again. Sailing over the crossbar is cross, and it remains Notts County with a 2-1 advantage at Brackley. Yeah, to be fair with him, I think his standing foot went, and when that happens, Mike, you've got no control over the ball, and it looked terrible, didn't it? But he certainly was in acres of space, and you just feel like now, if anyone was going to score, you can only see it being Notts County, from my point of view. Yeah, Bennett's back in English. I've been known to be wrong, though. Well, I hope. And Brackley Town will hope that there's more life in this game just yet. Notts County on the defensive for the moment. Cleared by Beddoe, just into the crowd on this near side. Plenty of red and white bubble hats on show. Club Shop will have done some good business today. Low, near the corner flag. Crossing towards the middle, and the strike net by Hall. Deflected wide of the goal, but still in play. But not. A situation that continued. The offside flag has gone up against Low there, I think. Just as he tried to recover the ball before it went out from that effort from Hall. Well, just a spark of initiative there from Brackley Town. They're not quite done yet. The ball was popping about in there. They're a bit fortunate again, weren't they, Notts County? You do think that maybe tonight, the fortune has favoured Notts County. The pivotal moments in the game have gone their way. Notts County, a side who've won just 2 of their last 13 away ties in the FA Cup proper. Well, at the moment, they're heading for victory. Dennis climbing. That looked like a hand from Dennis, but no one appeared to spot it. Went out for a throw anyway, so no harm done. Brackley Town with possession. Fireworks continuing to boom around the stadium. The home fans in the period now where they are hoping that their side can find something, can find another way back. They found one equaliser tonight. Can they find a second? Dropping in midfield, and it's Will Jarvis. He can just take a few touches before popping it back to Macari. He goes long down the channel for Jatta to chase, and he's got Dennis in the middle if he can win possession, and he can. And he sends it towards the D now. Dennis is beaten to it. The offside flag is up. The referee says play on. And so it's Brackley who can continue. Waldron feeding it to Low. Low looking down the right.
Stewart trying to get there, but won't do so ahead of Ness. But it's clearance straight towards Lowe, who loses out to your Pender. It's all getting a little bit scrappy and scrambly, and Notts County giving it away this time. Byrne just feeds it through the centre circle to the left and to Lilly. And gets it back, looking to play it in towards the chest here of Hall. Just laying it off into midfield, asking a little bit of Byrne there, who had a couple of green shirts around him, does well to keep possession. Pollock trying to turn away from the attentions of your Pender. Sprinting now down the inside left, working it to the left wing. Plenty of red shirts forward, but at the moment, Brackley Town can't get the ball towards the penalty area. 5 to go. Brackley 1, Notts County 2.
I'm really surprised that, he's got his goal, a lovely header in the first half, but really we haven't seen enough of him, have we? They've had lots of possession, Notts County, but a lot of it hasn't been popped into him, and in the areas that matter, it's been all deep possession.
The couple of chances he had, one was the goal, and the second taking it down on his chest, but a wonderful block from Calder, which has kept Brackley in the contest. It's Notts County with it at the back. Your Pender just laying it off for Macari. Ball into midfield now. Picked up by Jatta. Just takes a touch away from Pollock, having to go back into his own half to keep possession. And he's played a sloppy ball, and Calder's picked it up. Jatta trying to make amends for his error. And he slides in with the challenge, and it's gone out for a Brackley corner. And that all came from a misplaced pass from Alassana Jatta, who now has to take up a defensive position inside the Notts County penalty area. It is going to be a Brackley corner with 4 minutes to go.
Well, credit to him, he gave the ball away in a really dangerous area of the field. And he really was desperate to make amends. A great tackle in the end from him.
Corner taken short. It's going to be Byrne, who was trying to get it back a second time, but he's had his pocket pinched. And Notts County on the break now. Jarvis heading forward. Bennett sprinting through midfield to try and get up and support. Maz Kuyar is involved as well. But here's Dennis now, just ahead of the centre circle. And Notts County able to clear their lines, keep possession. Bennett's now on the left wing here for Notts County, trying to head towards the corner of the box. Deflected cross into the middle. There's no one in green attacking it. And Calder turning away from the attentions of Maz Kuyar near the corner flag. Just has to hoist it into the night sky. Has it stayed in play? No, it hasn't. It'll be a Notts County ball on the far side. A throw, 2.5 minutes to go, plus whatever Ben Atkinson is going to add on. We've not had too many injury stoppages, Alvin Martin.
No, I think before the game we were talking about firepower and maybe a lack of it. That's where with the weaknesses in Brackley Town, Mike. And really that's been the case, hasn't it? You just look at the bit of.
Well, Roach there is dallied on the ball. Sliding challenge from Waldron prevents the clearance. It's come to Ness on the right of the penalty area, who does put his foot through it. Nervy moment there for the Notts County goalkeeper. He's got away with one. Jarvis now hoisting it out towards the right, and Kuyar. Bit of space here. Dennis in the middle. Bennett's arriving on the edge of the box. Kuyar with a couple of step overs, trying to work towards the penalty area. He's lost out, and Brackley can come away with it. Lowe. Waldron wanting to get the ball in. Lowe hasn't played it yet. Instead he's fed Little here. Wide right for Brackley. Red and white shirts arriving in the box. Little's ball into the middle. Good header away, an important one there by Lucas Ness for Notts County. He's been vital at the heart of that back three and proving his worth again.
Yeah, he's the leader in the back three. Good footballer as well. Very good defence. Overall been an exemplary performance by him. He was needed there as well, because that was a lovely ball again by Little. He's got obviously a decent right foot in terms of getting into the right areas.
Now, Rob McDonald is out for a while. He's got a bit of an injury, and Lucas Ness has come in, and he's certainly staking his claim to stay there when Rob McDonald comes back. And he's got a few decent central defenders at his disposal. There's Martin Patterson. Here's Dennis now for Notts County, trying to step away from Pollock. Lovely ball for Jarvis, just reversed it into his path inside left. Jatta awaiting any delivery that might come. He's in the D at the moment. It's still on the left-hand side here for Notts County, and it's worked back towards Norburn. And, well, as you might expect, they are going to keep the ball and eat up as much of the clock as they can now, leading as they do by 2-1. That's a bit of a careless ball into the channel. There was no one really looking for that, and Dennis is just gesturing towards Bedo. Well, what did you expect me to do with that? Picked up by Maxted, who We'll pump it long in just a moment. Well, the offside flag has gone up. It must have been as the free kick's been given. And the referee is now happy, having the ball rolled back a yard. Not really going to make too many odds as Maxted launches it into the Notts County half. Flicked on by Lowe. Hall is chasing it, but cleared at the back. 6 additional minutes to be added on. That's a little bit more than I was expecting, and well, that's just breathed a little bit of hope into the home fans. Brackley 1, Notts County 2 on Talksport 2. Myself, Mike McCarthy and Alvin Martin with the closing stages here. Liverpool against Aston Villa to come at 8 on Talksport. On Talksport 2, we're heading to the boxing soon, unless Brackley Town can find a way back in these final stages. They're making another change. Burns coming off, and it's... just trying to see who's coming on here. Didn't quite catch the number on the far side. Zach Brown. So a midfielder for a midfielder. Zach Brown, who gets through an awful lot of work in midfield. Forward-looking midfielder. They need to be forward-looking now. Brackley Town, but they don't have the ball at the moment. It's Bennett's into the feet of Jatt. It was just a little bit ahead of him, in fact, and the move breaking down. It's going to be a goal kick. And again, Notts County not really making the most of their possession there, Alvin Martin.
It's not been a great performance, and I'm sure he'll admit to that, Martin Patterson. Difficult game for them, but and they've done it. It looks like they've done enough. Let's just say that coming into extra time. But around the final third, that's a prime example of it. The quality in just leaving the ball in for the striker, or leaving it in with the right weight, runners going off him. That finesse has been lacking for them tonight.
Here's Little. A few getting on their feet here as it's worked to the right hand side and Low. Plenty waiting in the box. It's gone square to Pollock. He's urged to shoot. That effort charged down by Yorpenda. Dean. 4 minutes of additional time to go. Still Brackley trying to find an equaliser. Low with 2 for company. Tries to work his way through. He's been stopped so far, but now the cross comes into the middle. And there's just no one attacking it in the 6-yard box. Kelleros did not command that situation. It went through the classic corridor of uncertainty. No one on it. Calder picking it up here for Brackley. Back towards Pollock. Still plenty forward for Brackley here as Pollock gets away from Yorpenda. Drives towards the box and slips it through now. It's a good ball and a strike coming in. Deflected away by Rose. It didn't quite fall for Low. Still Brackley on the attack here. Little in a crossing position from the right. In it comes again. It's hooked clear as far as Jatta. 30 yards from his own goal. Jarvis trying to turn away from trouble. His layoff, well, just about meets Dennis, but only after a sliding challenge was unsuccessful. Jatta trying to drive forward. That's great defending from Zach Lilly. Brackley back in possession. On the halfway line with Little. Little has Hall on the turn. Hall towards Stewart. Tried to get it through the legs of Norburn, who stood tall and prevented that from happening. We played 93 minutes. 6 were added on. Still Brackley Town needing an equaliser to take this to extra time. High clearance from Notts County. Not particularly effective because it's back in Brackley possession. They've won a throw on the halfway line here with Little.
What nervy end to the game for Notts County. They haven't put the game to bed, have they? And they've rode their luck for sure the second half.
Well, that chance, that Morgan Roberts chance, will replayed over and over again at full time if it does end up like this, but there is still time here. Calder trying to dig out the cross, and it comes towards the middle. Might drop here for Stewart, edge of the area, and now the strike coming in. Is that a hand or was that a head? The referee says penalty! Well, he took an awful long time to think about it, but Ben Atkinson, with the assistance of his assistant, says that hit a hand. A Notts County hand. And in the dying stages of stoppage time, National League Brackley Town have a chance to equalise from the spot. It was Calder who attacked down the left-hand side. It was a lovely cross into the middle, not quite dealt with. The strike from Stewart didn't come, but then it did come from the right-hand side. Ollie Norburn, the guilty party, he was looking around quizzically, but he's been penalised. And it's the on-loan Shrewsbury man, Callum Stewart, who in a few moments' time, Alvin Martin, has a very big moment in his career.
Well, you can't say that they don't deserve to get something, you know, to take it to extra time, because they've had chances. They've rode their luck. I think they're a bit unfortunate here when a ball struck that close to you, but his hand was up there, his arm was up there. They'll say it was an unnatural place for his arm to be, but anyway, they've got the penalty. Can they make the most of it?
Norburn, the offender. Stewart with the chance then. Callum Stewart up against Kelleroos. There's a hush around the ground. As the referee's whistle goes, there'll be an explosion if Stewart can find the net from here. 95 and change gone. And we're going to have more. Stewart sends the goalkeeper the wrong way. Brackley Town 2, Notts County 2. Game on again in the FA Cup.
Well, it's the FA Cup. I suppose we should expect, you know, scenarios like this that look like the game was all over. And they've been knocking at the door, it has to be said. Brackley Town have been knocking at the door, banging on the door. And he finally kicked it down.
It's a lovely penalty as well. A young man who has not had the best of times in league football, but showing his goal-scoring prowess. Nerves of steel in that moment from Stewart. Only recently turned professional this year, stepped up 3 levels from non-league football, having excelled in the National League North, and well, he's had a big moment here, and it's a very pleasing moment for Brackley Town and Notts County. Well, they'll be shaking their heads, but the handball was given. A penalty apiece for each side in this second half. Jody Jones converting 5 minutes into the second half and 5 minutes into adding time. Callum Stewart levelling it up.
You know, there've been moments as well on camp. Well, I think it's 5 or 6 moments when they've had, you know, players on the counter and they've had people over Notts County. I mean, they haven't made the most of it. They haven't killed the game off, and you don't kill a game off, and you ride your luck so many times in the second half. You know, inevitably you pay the price, and they're not out of it yet, but they will be kicking themselves, Notts County.
Well, 97 minutes played, 6 were added on, a little bit more added on for the penalty and the goal, and well, there might still be time for one of these sides to win it again. Bouncing in midfield here, Dennis looking to turn and drive towards Brackley territory. Goes wide towards the right-hand side. As Kuya, options in the middle, it has to go in soon, you would feel. Goes to Dennis, going from range, it might drop for Jarvis, but it's away from his touch there. It just struck his shins and he wasn't able to get it under control. It was a difficult one to get hold of, in fairness to him. 2-2. Well, the FA Cup continues to deliver. As it's launched down the channel, Beto could just watch that sail over his head. Well, it's been a roller coaster ride for those Brackley Town fans. Behind early in the first and second half. Well, they've watched their team fight back twice. And whatever happens now, they can be so proud of their efforts, but they will want more. Still, we play on. 98 minutes now. And finally, the full-time whistle goes. Ben Atkinson says, that will do it for now. We have another half an hour to go on Talksport 2. Full-time, Brackley Town 2, Notts County 2. Alvin Martin, where on earth is this going?
It's been very difficult to read. There have been times when you think, OK, I've got a handle on where this game's going. But the way it ended, and the chances as well that Brackley Town had, considering that we've said that they don't find goals easy to come by, they've created quite a few chances, haven't they, tonight? You know, and like I said, you can only ride your luck so many times from Notts County's point of view. I think they will feel that in this second half they had a large degree of control, Mike. But you've got to be able to make that control pay, and that means that when you do get overloads, that you make the most of them. But they sort of think, no, okay, the game's won, 2-1, we should be okay. Well, they weren't, and I've got to give credit to the character of Brackley Town. You know, they kept plugging away, even when they had that moment when Roberts hit the bar, it bounced down on the goal line and went up and bounced and hit the bar again. You think, oh, maybe it's not our night. Your heads can go down. That never happened with them. They kept going.
And before I forget, you mentioned this in the second half as well, we've got to credit the officials. 2 penalty decisions, completely spot on, and also that decision on the line, it was on the line and not over the line. Absolutely. From Robert.
I think it was as well with Norman, on the handball. While I think, he's hit at a close range at him, you can tell by his expression, by his reaction, he knew he was in trouble.
Well, the referee and his assistants taking on some fluids, as are the Notts County and Brackley Town players. More instructions coming from Messrs Gavin Cowan and Martin Patterson. The Notts County head coach has seen his side lead twice and squander those leads against National League opposition. Part-time side, I remind you, Brackley Town. These are going to be hard yards for the next 30 minutes, but they will have the wind in their sails, having snatched that equaliser from the penalty spot. Callum Stewart with it.
Few people would have left as well, right? I'll tell you, there's a few people would have left, and we're set for with the extra time. Who knows what's going to happen? And it could be history being made here, and there'll be a few people kicking them. I know there's a few celebrities in front of us here who left, ex-players. They should know better.
Well, they were thinking they were going to need to do some more TV work, I think, and well, they are going to need to do some more, a little bit more. Their booking just got a little bit longer. And I don't think any of them will begrudge that at all. It's been an excellent cup tie, and it's been a fascinating watch. And we still have another half an hour of this to enjoy, because these two sides, and Brackley Town in particular, have not given up on this game. And they are looking to try and create another upset in this competition. I mentioned this before, have great calibre in this competition. They've got to the first round several times, and they have progressed beyond that. Second round last year, and they've got to the second round 4 times before, and they have beaten the EFL sides as well. Gillingham, they beat in a replay a few years back. Notts County, and those Notts County fans thought they would be able to go home with a victory secured, and that late penalty has changed matters entirely. Now, Ollie Norburn is just having a discussion with the referee, who I think is just explaining the handball decision. I think the only mitigation, and I don't think this is convincing for the referee, is you could say, well, Ollie Norburn might go, I'm putting my hand up to protect my face. But that's not where the ball really struck him, looking at the replay. And I mean, maybe you can argue that's a natural position, maybe you can't, but once you lift your arm in the penalty area, you're always running that risk, aren't you, Ollie?
I'm sure that the Notts County fans will see it Nolburn's way, and the Brackley Town fans will see it, the referee's way. It is one of them, but I think when a ball hits you on the hand, I think you're in your own penalty area, instinctively, your thought is, oh dear, what's going to happen now? Because it's down to interpretation.
Well, no further goals in the Premier League at Tottenham. Tottenham 0, Chelsea 1, a full-time score from the 5:30 game. A reminder, on Talksport right now, building up to Liverpool against Aston Villa. That's our Talksport exclusive from 8 o'clock. But do stay with us right now on Talksport too, because this is on a knife edge for another 30 minutes. Brackley Town 2, Notts County 2. No further changes just yet, although there could be more. You get an extra sub in extra time for each side, who have emptied their benches so far. Notts County ahead at the start of the second half will get us back underway. A reminder, Notts County all in green with the white socks, attacking the goal to our right hand side here. And Brackley Town, the home side, the National League side, who have fought their way back into this contest twice and given us an extra 30 minutes here in their red and white shirts, red shorts and red socks, looking to attack the end with perhaps a few grumpy Notts County fans in it right now. The League Two side have not been at their best. They have come into this game with a very decent record recently. They look to be in control. They look to have a measure of it, but right at the end, something can always happen while it's won. And against the side who haven't scored many in the National League, Brackley Town have found 2 against Notts County here tonight. Notts County, at the first minute of this extra time, have just been playing it about in a bit of a horseshoe. dipping into one flank, then the other. Just on the halfway line at the moment. Here's your Pender. Second half substitute. Just laying it off. And now Makari stepping out of the centre circle here. Kuyar coming short for it. Kuyar again is Calder at his back, so just hops to go in. And you can just see the Brackley Town players just shuffling from left to right, just making sure that the options in the passing lanes are covered. Notts County trying to find a way down the left though. Bennett to the ball into the middle. Good header by Dean to clear his lines and out for a throw far side, just level with the edge of the Brackley Town penalty area. They're going to have to be alert in this half an hour, are Brackley Town. Notts County once again with the ball at their feet. Ness looking for options, has to go square for Beddoe. And then back again, it's fairly laboured stuff this from Notts County at the moment. And they've got another half an hour to try and break down this Brackley Town side. They've done it a couple of times, but with Kuyar now on the right hand side. Here's Norburn just taking it out of his feet, looking for options, twisting left and right, and then going to the right hand side. Will Jarvis now. It's all been paying it a bit of walking pace for a second before Jarvis breaks into a bit of a trot. Goes across the 40 yards out from the penalty area, and then it's back in Norburn's possession. Now the ball comes in towards the middle. Jarvis trying to get a flick on. It's not quite into the path of Jatta. Foot through it from Brackley Town. Well, if this is the pattern of extra time, it's going to be a long 30 minutes for Brackley, isn't it, Alvin Martin?
I think Brackley Town is. If you give them penalties now, they bite your hand off. That's the way they've set up here, isn't it? To say, okay, well we've got it level, and we're happy to go to penalties. I think Notts County look like a team that think, okay, we don't want that scenario. We want to get the game put to bed before then. But again, they've not really got any cutting edge to them at the moment, have they? It's all in front.
For what it's worth, Notts County lost their last penalty shootout, defeat in the EFL Cup first round last year at Shrewsbury. Not too many involved in that. It's your Pender now, as Notts County continue to try and work an angle, find a gap. They are trying to get through two banks of what is essentially 5 for Brackley Town here. There is no one near the halfway line for the hosts. Jatta trying to acrobatically bring it down. It's hooked clear by Scott Pollock. Back at the feet of Makari. Here's Will Jarvis. Just gets it away from the challenge of Waldron. He wasn't too keen on sticking a big boot in there. Just shepherding Notts County away from a dangerous area. Makari now. Waldron coming across again, just shadowing the route to goal. Jarvis going for goal. An effort that perhaps came out of a bit of frustration, really, because it was a fairly straightforward save for Maxted to make. No real power behind the shot from Jarvis, and well, he'll be delighted to see shots like that fired at him for the remaining 25 minutes or so of extra time. 2-2, 5 minutes into extra time, with Talksport 2 live at St James's Park. Brackley Town on the defensive once more as Notts County come forward through Maz Kuyar. Here's the Afghan international trying to weave a path towards goal. Almost found Jarvis. A good sliding challenge came in. Back with Kuyar. And he's won a throw for Notts County. Level with the edge of the Brackley Town penalty area. Looking for options. Makari's coming across, I think, to take this. Well, as much as Notts County have had the ball, they've got to find some zip about their passing, some urgency in the movement in the final third, because Brackley Town will happily settle to have the ball played in front of them.
They've had moments, Notts County, Mike, but the calibre of player they've got up there, I'm expecting them to be much more fluent, and consistent with the creation of chances, and they haven't been really. They've shown little sparks here and there, but nowhere near the best attacking wise.
Just a reminder, if you tuned in expecting the boxing, we will be going to Co-op Live at the conclusion of this game. Joshua Boazzi taking on Zach Parker, the main event. We've got the undercard as well on Talksport 2 ahead of that British light heavyweight contest. Free kick, Notts County, just in the centre circle. Nurban just taking it sideways, bringing Beddoe into the equation. Pender taking this on now. Brackley Town fans trying to make some noise, trying to gee their side on, who are still perhaps a little bit in recovery mode, having forced that late equaliser from the penalty spot. Macari. Notts County need a little bit of invention. Here's Bennett down the left-hand side. Jarvis has worked to the left as well. He is operating all over the pitch in this first half of extra time, but he's had his pocket picked there. And it's a move forward now by Brown. Brown looking over the top for the run of Hall. And Brackley Town pounce here. Hall into the penalty area, just showed a bit too much of that to Kuyar, who got a boot in, helped it to Rose, who cleared lines here for Notts County. But it's going to be a Brackley Town throw, 15 yards from the corner flag. And it's back with Calder. Calder trying to take on Kuyar. To the byline he goes, checks back. Kuyar getting a foot in, and then another sliding challenge to force the ball out of play. Another Brackley Town throw near the corner flag. Well, the first time that we've really seen Brackley Town come forward 7 minutes into extra time. Calder. A reminder, it must get done tonight. Penalties if required. No replays now in the FA Cup from the first round onwards. Calder pushed over. The flag immediately was waved by the assistant on this near side as Dennis socks round his ankles. He's just stepping away from the situation. I've been ruled to have fouled Calder. He's going to leave this and take up what has been a usual position for him, just in the centre circle for these set plays. And with no Jack Price on the pitch anymore, Tyler Little is the man with the responsibility to deliver a telling ball, and he has delivered some telling crosses so far this evening. And he used that right foot to generate something promising here for the National League side. In it comes, hoisted towards the edge of the area. It's away, but only as far as Brown, who helps it towards the box. Away by Beddoe again for Notts County. Lovely feet here as it's worked towards the edge of the area. The strike coming in is blocked, and Notts County just about clear their lines and look for Jatta over the top. Calder has to make up some ground here, and he hasn't quite got to Jatta, who's launched himself down the left-hand side. Jatta looking for options in the middle, finds Bennett's in the D. Kuyar's on the overlap here if he wants it, but Bennett's took it on himself and loses out. And the pass might have been the better option. Brackley Town can come away with it. The home fans want the home side to find a breakaway themselves. The game just a little stretched in extra time now. Nice ball for Waldron to chase. Across came Ness, concedes the throw. Well, Brackley Town are just starting to spark into life in extra time, Alvin Martin.
Yeah, that's right. I think that body's forward there, but I think there's a lot of tired legs out there. You know, I think they've been chasing the ball probably a lot more than Notts County, haven't they? I think that fatigue's starting to set in with them now.
Well, Jatta is the outlet for Notts County if they can win the ball back. But at the moment, there is a Brackley Town throw to defend, and it's the home side in not a particular hurry to take it either, which tells you they're trying to rest in possession as much as they can. Lowe, scorer of the first Brackley goal, just lays it back. Lovely cross into the middle. Macari away. The strike coming in just past the post. Well, it was a decent effort from the edge of the area. Stewart with it. And it just went a couple of yards past the right-hand upright of Kellerose there, who just watched it go wide. And a chance for the home side. And Stewart, whose penalty levelled this up and took it to extra time, just couldn't quite find the connection he needed.
Yeah, not easy. He was coming across his body. Let's take it first time.
Jatta with the header at the other end. Now Dennis gets it from Jarvis. There's red shirts all around him, Dennis, but he somehow kept hold of the ball really well. Will Pender now having his shirt pulled, but just shrugs off the challenge and gets it back into the Notts County defensive line. Plenty here enjoying themselves tonight. 2 apiece between Brackley Town and Notts County in the FA Cup first round. We are 10 minutes into extra time now. And it's a throw for the home side. Clearance of a Notts County play.
I think the home fans are urging their team to attack and go forward, but Brackley Town's players, I think, you know what, we take for penalties now. I think they're tired. I think they realise that they've probably got the better options going forward as well, Notts County.
Waldron trying to get on the ball round the corner there, but he was beaten to it. And it's hacked along by Kellerose. Maxted has to come out of his penalty area to get there before Jatta, and that's a high ball which Hall can chase. Hall gets his head to it. Calder now. A few forward here for Brackley in this attack as Calder tries to step around Kouya, who gets a foot in and concedes the throw. Taken quickly by Calder. Still on this left-hand side here for Brackley. Lilly away from the challenge of Jarvis. Can't get away from Kouya. Kouya's ball at the third attempt is still charged down. Calder, early ball into the middle. Will this bounce to a Brackley shirt? Not quite. On the central position is Brown. Now Little inside right, 40 yards from goal. Goes square for Brown again. Brackley trying to build something here. Reminder, 2 apiece. Calder now. Can he find a telling delivery? Has to get round Kouya first, and once again the Notts County man has stood up to the test. And that's Kouya. Steps back into position as Brown tries to get away from 2 in green. He's got to the byline. He's tried to feed it into the box. Just about dealt with by Orpenda. Now Jatta can turn in his own half. Link up with Dennis. This could be a Notts County break coming. Work towards Bennett's now. 4 in this attack. It's 4-on-3 at the moment. Jatta into the penalty area. Wide left. Dean gets the block in. Drops towards Bennett's though in the box, who has to work outside the area to keep possession. 2 in the middle waiting for it if the ball is delivered. Orpenda's in there. So is Dennis. Jatta moving into position near the near post as well. Beto now. In comes the cross. It's a high one over the head of Dennis. Calder with the header away for Brackley Town. Now the turn from low, having his shirt pulled but getting away from Norburn. Waldron trying to stay onside and did so. Waldron on the left here for Brackley, looking to take on Macari. Trying to get away from his man, driving inside now, going for goal. Well, he saw his name in lights from 25 yards, but not quite that time. Always bending away from that top corner. It remains 2-2.
Well, it was a good effort. You know, he made ground with him with the ball, cut in on his right foot, and he made the half a yard to get the shot away there, Waldron, but probably a bit too far out, and the ball was always going off target.
Well, a couple of years now since Danny Waldron scored a brace for Old Church, beating Cheltenham in the FA Cup. First round 3 years ago, in fact. Could have had a hat-trick that day. He hit the post. Well, that effort was not quite close enough. Strong challenge in the middle from Waldron. Play's been allowed to continue. And just about getting back to his feet now. Here's Norburn. It's in Notts County possession at the back. A minute left of this first half of extra time here on Talksport 2. Brackley Town 2, Notts County 2. With Macari. Can the League 2 side carve out a chance before the break? Just having his ankle tap there was Jarvis. Went down, free kick immediately given by Ben Atkinson. He's had a good game tonight. Not had to get his cards out really. It's clipped by Ness. Wide towards the left and Keenan Bennett's. Bennett's trying to get away from his man. Has support from Orpenda, who takes on the ball here towards the corner of the penalty area, but having to be forced away from it to keep possession. Goes square for Norburn, 30 yards from goal. Just twists away from the attentions of Stewart. Now feeding Orpenda. Round the corner he goes. Man going down in the box. It's Dennis who half-heartedly claims for a penalty. And that is a mocking reaction from the Brackley Town fans as no decision is awarded. Brackley Town get themselves a free kick just inside their own half. Meanwhile, and then there's a talking to that's going to be issued here by the referee and a yellow card raised as well. And I wonder if that's just a bit of lip more than anything else from Ollie Norburn. He goes into the book tonight. And we have played the first 15 minutes of extra time. Shouldn't expect too much to be added on at the end of this first period. And Brackley Town have safely negotiated it so far, and indeed they have got to half-time still level. Twice they've trailed Notts County, twice they've got back, and in that first half of extra time, not many chances to speak of, Alvin Martin.
No, that's right. I think you can see that Brackley Town were sitting and holding on to what they've got. They'd more than gladly go to penalties. I think Notts County had the better attacking players to pick from. They played their cards. And as the game's progressed, really, I think they've been just a little lacking in terms of their cutting edge tonight. I think with the players that they've got, you would expect them certainly to have created better chances, but it's been a really tight game, hasn't it? And that's credit to Brackley Town as well, because they've had a couple of setbacks and they've come back from them, showed a lot of character in terms of that. And even now, the crowd are urging them to go forward. They're playing with their heads rather than their hearts, which you've got to give them credit for.
I was listening to an interview with Gavin Cowan after one of the games earlier this season in the National League, and he said he'd spoken to fans who were saying, oh, well, Team X, Team Y, Team Z, didn't think much of them. And he goes, well, that might have something to do with us, and the way we're playing. We're making them look bad. And you're certainly right. We have to give Brackley Town an awful lot of credit for this performance. They have certainly kept the home fans happy. They have been invested in the game. Despite the fact that they have trailed twice, they have fought their way back in it. They've always been in the contest. As the November chill starts to take hold, there is plenty to keep us invested in this contest. A reminder, 10 minutes time kicking off on Talksport. Liverpool, Aston Villa from the Premier League. Here on Talksport 2, we are staying with this at St James's Park to the conclusion. Then we'll be heading to Co-op Live in Manchester. Joshua Buatsi taking on Zach Parker in that British bout, light heavyweight. The undercard on Talksport 2, main event around 10 o'clock. As one of the, I think, Brackley backroom staff is just being shepherded off the pitch.
I think it gives me great pleasure to be able to say that the referee has been fantastic tonight. I can't remember anything that he's done wrong. He's kept the cards in his pocket. The one he got out was down to verbal, and that was to Norben, who I think had been in his ear. He'd had a tackle made on him, rolled around on the floor, expected to get a foul. When he didn't, he jumped up and he got on with the game.
Yep.
I think he's been excellent. He's had some big decisions to make tonight. He's got them all right.
Well, I hope we haven't jinxed him for the final 15 minutes, but well done so far, Ben Atkinson. The other yellow card coming out for Johnny Maxted after that penalty award, which was, again, a correct decision in the second half. Atkinson and his team of officials happy for this second half of extra time to get underway, as Brackley now kicking from left to right towards the massed ranks of fans underneath the terracing. The roof of that stand doesn't quite stretch the width of the penalty area. Many of them crowded underneath it and cheering on a free kick that's been given to the home side near the corner of the box right hand side, and a set piece and a glorious opportunity to cause some chaos in that Notts County box.
Well, this is a nice area to deliver from here, Mike, especially with Little. We've seen him deliver from here certainly 3 or 4 times tonight, and he's put it right on the button. Can he do it again?
Yeah, back in the side at Southend last week. It was his first start since September. Certainly making sure that he is in the manager's thoughts for the weeks to come with his performances so far this evening. Little then with plenty to aim for. The back stick is loaded, not too much in the near post. Hall is just hovering in that direction. Little right-footed and outswinger towards the back post. Up go the heads. It's gone off a Brackley head last, according to the officials, and it will be a goal kick.
I think delivery is one thing, but you need somebody who's going to say, I am going to get there, I'm going to put my head on that ball, without that wholehearted endeavour and challenge, any ball is not going to be worth its weight. So it's about really wanting it more than the opposition in the penalty areas.
Well, what firepower do Notts County have left in the game? Well, at the moment they're on the back foot here, and a challenge coming in on Stewart, and a free kick. And perhaps another yellow card coming out as well. Indeed it is. Makari is having his name taken after he brought down Stewart. Had to try and make a challenge. Stewart would have been beyond the defence and heading into a dangerous area. He was heading wide, though there was no question of that being a denial of a goal-scoring opportunity, but it was certainly a move of promise for Brackley Town. And it is a position of promise as well from this free kick. Little again has come across.
It's a bright spell for them, sustained.
Well, whatever Gavin Cowan said to them at half-time of extra time is having a decent effect so far. 2-2, 2 minutes into the second half of extra time. Deep to the back post goes the free kick. Jatta fighting for it. Referee says he was fouled, dragged to the ground as he cleared Notts County lines. And it's going to be a free kick for Kellerose to take inside his own penalty area. Brackley 2, Notts County 2 on Talksport 2. Penalties if needed.
Is it a
Still
twist
time to go.
Is it a twist in the set? We've been surprised a few times. The game's gone a little dead, and then it's livened up and it's exploded. It's had unwritable, unreadable moments in this game. I just wonder if there's one to finish it off.
Kelleroos getting that shout that you often get at non-league grounds about how good a goalkeeper he is as he clears the ball downfield. Not one I can repeat, but you know exactly what I mean. It's with the Notts County centre-half Ness. Beto now on halfway for the visitors who are looking to plot a path through this massed rank of Brackley shirts. Beto carrying the ball through, more fireworks going off in the background. Bennett just plays it in field for Norburn. Again, Notts County not in a hurry here, trying to find the right moment to strike, to find a gap that will exploit Brackley Town. They've been resolute in their work, the National League side. They are offering very few ways through. They have been defensively one of the best teams in the National League this season, and they're showing why, because Notts County have found it difficult to create sustained pressure, to create multiple chances. Jatta's goal in the first half, that Jody Jones penalty in the second. The way they got in front, but they've been pegged back each time. They've won a free kick though. Dennis going down, trying to take the free kick quickly. Not looking to launch this into the box. That might have been meat and drink for the Brackley Town defenders. So Pender works it wide to the right. Now the cross comes into the middle, and indeed that is food and drink for Gareth Dean at the back, the big centre half with the header clear. Pender now gets it from the throw taken short. Looking for a route towards a cross. He's having to turn away from that option as it's lifted in towards the 6-yard box, just about cleared by Little. No one in a Notts County shirt getting near it. Now Waldron on the chase. He's got Beto in pursuit. Support coming now in the shape of Lowe. Waldron just feeding it back into Little on halfway instead. Brackley Town with a chance to come forward here, as the referee decides that it was Bennett that was being held by Lowe and not the other way round, as the home fans were claiming. And Notts County have a free kick. 10 minutes to go. Still the League Two side being held by part-time opposition. Brackley thought they were having a free kick there, but the referees decided that Jatta was fouled as Brown went down clutching his ankles. And so Notts County with a free kick 40 yards from goal, central position. If Jody Jones was still on the pitch, he might fancy it, but they've gone short instead. Pender towards the corner of the box, left-hand side. Just lays it off towards Jarvis. Jarvis driving towards the byline now, away from Little. Low ball into the middle. Pollock had to get there and did so. Puts it behind though, Notts County corner. A few of the Notts County fans beating the advertising hoardings, trying to make some noise, encouraging their side to a lead for the third time this afternoon. 2-2 it remains. Well, Kuyar's come across to take this corner. And the only man forward at the moment is Callum Stewart for Brackley, just occupying Bennett's in the centre circle, but Notts County players preparing to make their runs from the edge of the box as Kuyar will swing this in right-footed, an in-swinger towards the near post. It's met by a Brackley boot, but only as far as Norburn on the edge of the area. Looking for options, having to go back before Notts County to come forward. Macari helping it wide. Pender's ball into the middle. On an attempt by Beto, it might drop for Jatta, but the offside flag has come up. It was cleared anyway. And it's going to be a free kick for Brackley Town, who can breathe again, can recover a little bit more. 8 minutes, plus whatever's going to be added on before a penalty shootout. Be interesting if they do get penalties, which end will be taken up, because one side is all Notts County fans, one side is all Brackley fans. We'll get to that later. Still plenty of time for one of these sides to find a winner on Talksport 2. Flicked header by Waldron. Clearance by Macari for Notts County towards halfway. Dean trying to rise for the header, was just eased away from it by Dennis. Wasn't a clean contact. Brackley have got it away anyway. Now Hall, sliding challenge coming in from Pender. Just extended one of those go-go gadget legs. Won the ball but conceded the throw. And there's going to be another change here for Notts County. And it's Mai Traore who's coming on. And Alassana Jatta is being withdrawn. No, it's not. Jatta, that's the 28 that's gone up. My apologies, not 29. Lewis Macari. So defender off, forward on for Notts County. Martin Patterson wants this one. Does not want to take any chances. It's Brackley coming forward with Little down the right. Hall just leaving and putting it towards Little, who finds Pollock. And then, well, feeling for a moment like Bennett's was holding low. The decision has gone Brackley Town's way for a set piece. And in fact, it's gone out for a corner. Just slightly obstructed by the Brackley fans who are standing 3 deep in front of a rail on this near side. Little then with a set piece here for the home side. Dean's come forward, so has Lilly. Up from the back. Plenty to attack this as it comes in towards the penalty spot. Up go the heads. It was Ness who got there first for Notts County. Pollock trying to help it back towards the box. Cleared away by Traore, his first contribution since coming on. Kohler just back to his goalkeeper as Brackley Town through Maxted launch it forward. Decent header from Ness just to help it wide for Kuyat. And now Traore, a player who's been lesser sighted this season but has an opportunity now to stake his claim in the Notts County team if he can do something. A yellow card's come out there. I think it might have been Calder who was booked for that challenge on Traore. Notts County will just take a little bit more time with this free kick. In fact, making out like it's going to be launched into the box. Beddo's going forward, Ness is going forward. Well, if Traore is going to have an impact, not the biggest lad, so he might have to wait for a loose ball. And it comes from Bennett. Comfortable header away. There's Lilly back there for Brackley Town. And it's come to his feet again. High clearance, which is helped on by Waldron, but only to the feet of Bennett near the centre circle for Notts County, driving towards the right. He has options either side, loses his footing temporarily. A few players have done that this evening. 2-2 it remains as it's swung into the box, and Jatta was trying to get there at the near post, but Maxted was able to gather in his 6-yard box. Time continues to tick away. 4.5 minutes of regulation in extra time. High clearance from the goalkeeper. Header from Beddo. Pender bringing it down. Turning and feeding it to Jarvis on halfway here. Notts County left. He's lost out though. Great challenge from Lowe coming in. More applause from the home fans. Brown helping it to Calder on the left-hand side here for Brackley. Plenty of time still for one of these sides to find something. 4 minutes. We thought heading into stoppage time the game might have been over, but that late penalty from Callum Stewart, I beg your pardon, who's on the ball now. And we've got the extra half an hour. Calder can't quite get to the ball out left. Sliding challenge from Kuyar puts it out. It's just one of those moments where Brackley appear to be building a second, a third, a fourth win down in Martin that they're trying to find here.
They keep coming back. They certainly don't like character.
That's Waldron helping it wide. Low. Score of the first goal. The first equaliser for Brackley, and his cross is deflected off Bennett. It's a Brackley Town corner. 3 minutes of extra time to go. Well, any goal now would near enough seal it.
I know what I'd be saying to the corner taker. Stick that on the penalty spot. Stick it right in the penalty spot, and if you stick it there, I'll win it.
Well, they are gathering around the 6-yard box because Calaros has not looked particularly comfortable with high balls. And I do wonder how much of that will play into the thinking. And it comes from Little. It's deep towards the back post, and there's some shirt pulling the referee didn't like the look of, and Notts County have a free kick. And that will be that in terms of that Brackley move. And there's a Brackley player down who is clearly feeling cramped now. And the referee just going across to inquire as to whether they need treatment. Well, there's A chance to get back to his feet because, well, quite frankly, if he'd gone down there, it would have been a very limited opportunity to get back involved in the game. As Lowe, who's put in the hard yard, started up front, is now playing wing back, playing that lone furrow up front for large parts of the game before a few changes in the second half. He'll be sore in the morning. Waldron can't win the high ball. Pender trying to fight for it in the Brackley half. It's a free kick for the home side. Dennis just a little bit too keen to get hold of that. A reminder on Talksport 2 right now. They're underway at Anfield. Liverpool, Aston Villa on Talksport here on Talksport 2. We are with this the conclusion, and it's looking more and more likely like we're heading towards penalties, Alvin Martin.
And credit to the Brackley Town players. Mike, they're fitness-wise, they're at a disadvantage, but they've given everything tonight, haven't they? There's not one of them players out there that hasn't been 8 out of 10. I'm sure that Gavin Cowan will say that after the game, whatever happens.
Long forward, this free kick, Beto meets it with his head. Waldron was just a little bit too keen as he leant on Beto, and the free kick given. 1 minute remaining then. Brackley 2, Notts County of League 2. The National League side twice fighting back, forcing extra time. Can they force penalties? Can they force a winner? Pollock for Waldron on halfway, just laying it off, and now it's worked for Lowe. Waldron making the run, looking to burst down that right hand side, but Ness on the cover. He's whacked it out of play. Brackley will have a throw. Time running out for attacks now into the final 20 seconds of regulation. Not really had any stoppages in extra time either, so not an awful lot to be added on. Lowe with two around him trying to find something, anything. His cross is deflected high into the box and headed away, but Little picks it up, urged to shoot, blocked by Norburn. Here's Pollock, he's urged to shoot from range. Another block coming in from Norburn, his second in a couple of seconds. Stewart picking it up, inside left, driving towards the box. Tried to feed it into the penalty area, but that effort was blocked. Wonderful challenge from Pollock to win it back, but only helps it wide, and Traore picks it up for Notts County. Kellerose under pressure from Waldron, clears out into the night sky and out for a Brackley throw, but the referee decides that that is that. And after 120 minutes and more, these sides cannot be separated. Brackley Town 2, Notts County 2. Alvin Martin, we are heading for penalties.
Well, it's a proper cup tie, isn't it? It really is. It's had the higher league side with the better, I'm sure, technical certain players not being able to impose themselves, and Brackley Town, through sheer determination, have fought their way back in. They've had the setbacks tonight. They've had the character to come back from them. Well, they have the bottle to see it through, because it's anyone's now. I don't think the technical side of the game plays a part now. It's all about your nerve.
Well, nerves of steel from one penalty taker who's still on the pitch. That was Callum Stewart, who's equalised it in the 96th minute. It's the reason we got to extra time in the first place. Let's take you through the story of the game then. Notts County opening the scoring on 13. Alessandra Jatta's header. A lovely Jodie Jones cross, and the header buried beyond Maxted in the Brackley goal. But they were back level before the break. 28 on the clock when Matt Lowe finished from close range. As Brackley Town level it up before half-time. Second half saw Jodie Jones convert from the spot 5 minutes into that second 45 after Connor Grant had been brought down by Maxted. Yellow card for the goalkeeper, who went the wrong way in trying to stop the Jodie Jones spot kick, but there was late drama. Ollie Norburn deemed to have handballed deep into stoppage time, and Callum Stewart stepping up and making sure that he sent Kellerose the wrong way too, to make it 2-2. And the National League side, who got through in the first round on penalties this time last year, now have an opportunity to lock out League 2 opposition from the spot and reach the second round for just the 5th time in their history.
Both keepers have made more or less identical saves, haven't they, as well? Really good saves. I'm not talking about standard saves, really good saves. Both with their left hands. Made outstanding contributions in that way, and you'd have to feel that now it's up to one of them really to pull another spectacular save out, or is it down to a miss? I hope it's down to a save rather than a miss.
You want a hero, don't you? You really do. But it's going to be someone who steps forward and will have a horrible moment, whether it's a save from a goalkeeper or it's a blazing over the bar, a missing of the target. We're just waiting to see which end the penalties are going to be hit from. That's being decided right now. A toss between the two captains. To the right-hand side is the Francis Oliver stand, which is got plenty behind them, but the goalkeepers appear to be moving towards the away end. Kelleros is being roared towards the penalty area by the Notts County fans, nearly 1,000 of them travelling this evening. And Johnny Maxted is also going to be involved, and it looks like he's going to be involved first. Dennis is among those who may take a penalty, but it's the orange boots of Alassana Jatta, the main man for Notts County over the last year and a half. The man who got the opening goal of the night. He's the man who will take the long walk forward and the one who will take first. Just applauding the Notts County fans who are going to be doing all they can to encourage their players and make life difficult for those of Brackley Town. Jatta with the ball in his hand then. Maxted making his way towards his line. Jatta placing the ball down with two hands. The referee satisfied it's on the spot. Just a little bit of gardening for Jatta to do in the penalty area. I wonder whether the turf is particularly loose there. But Jatta to take first for Notts County. He will step up right-footed and he will look to put Notts County in the lead in the shootout. Notts County through Jatta, and he's hit the crossbar. Advantage Brackley Town. Maxted went the wrong way, but Jatta's spot kick kissed the bar and sailed over the top.
I never understand why people do that, go for the top corner, right? Why when you're risking exactly that? It's hit the bar. You struck it really well, but why not place it in the corner but low? You just in taking the percentages out of it. It looks great. It looks great, but you always risk that one that you get underneath it too much.
Well, a few of the Notts County players have come out to do some low fives with Alassana Jatta, but he's put his side in a bit of a hole here. A long way to go in this shootout. First for Brackley, the man who scored in stoppage time to make it 2-2. And it's Callum Stewart who sent Rose the wrong way. Notts County fans waving the lights of their phones behind the goal, trying to put Stewart off, who steps forward right-footed. Goalkeeper went the right way, but Rose couldn't keep it out. So Brackley leading the shootout after a penalty each by a 1-0. Matt Dennis stepping forward next for Notts.
They were trying to put him off there. It obviously didn't work, but the phone's at the back with the lights on. There's not really anything you can do about that, is it? The referee can't tell them all to turn him off.
No. I mean, you see it sometimes, people with laser pens. In fact, there's someone who looks like they've climbed a tree behind the away end, who might be getting a view of the game from there. It's the first time I've spotted them in the dark. But it's Dennis. Notts County behind in the shootout. Dennis stepping up with their second, and Dennis with a stuttered run up sends it safely into the corner, and it's 1-1 with the second Brackley Town penalty to come. Tyler Little is stepping forward, but that was cool from Dennis.
Yeah, it was, wasn't it? Textbook, really. I think it takes a lot of nerve to do that.
Well, Tyler Little's had a wonderful game. Might have been even better if his cross had have found Roberts, and the header from Roberts had hit the bar twice. It was an extraordinary moment in the match. Little, though, is ready. The referee just taking a few steps back before Little will address the ball right-footed. And Brackley 2-1 ahead in the shootout. Nerves of steel from Tyler Little.
I think if you drill it really with pace on a wet surface, and you hit it where you're supposed to hit it, no keeper's going to get it, and that's exactly what happened there, wasn't it? Bottom left-hand corner with pace, low, no chance for the keeper.
Up next for Notts County, they trail 2-1 with their third penalty. Keenan Bennett's former Spurs Academy product, second half substitute. And Bennett's left-footed, didn't take too much time, and Maxted guesses right, goes to his left, palms it away. Brackley Town well ahead in the shootout now.
That's a good save. It wasn't a bad penalty. It was a good save.
Well, Maxted has made his mark in the shootout, and it's a chance here for Tyler Waldron to make it 3-1 after 3 penalties each. Brackley would be in command. Hellerose bouncing the ball before being instructed to step back onto his line. Danny Waldron then, brought in the summer from Southend. A big moment in his Brackley career. And will step forward right-footed. It's Waldron, and a stutter step, but it doesn't work this time. Royce with the dive to his left-hand side, gets down low, and it's a weak penalty, and it's saved. It remains 2-1.
That's the problem with that stutter, isn't it? Once you actually run up and you take the momentum out, you run up, the power then you lose on the strike, unless you send the keeper the wrong way. He didn't go the wrong way, and that power wasn't there to find that bottom right-hand corner.
Will Jarvis is up next then for Notts County. A chance to put them back into the shootout here. 3 penalties taken, just the 1 scored for Notts County so far. Jarvis up against Maxted, who saved from Bennett's moments ago. Jarvis stepping up. Well, Maxted went the right way again, but he couldn't get to it. 2-2. Well, the tension rising. There's another of the Brackley Town players, Scott Pollock. He's next to come forward. Brackley still with the advantage in the shootout so long as they can convert here. It's been nip and tuck all night. No surprise that the shootout has been the same. And Kelleros, well, he's taken an awful long time to get to his goal line, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's playing all the games, isn't he? He's having some verbals, and this time he's making the penalty taker wait.
Swinging his arms. I often think the referee shouldn't force the taker to put the ball down till the goalkeeper's on their line. Conversations for another day. Scott Pollock then, Brackley Town, to put them on the verge. Pollock into the net. 3-2. And now Notts County must score. And it's Maz Kuyar coming forward.
That was the best penalty so far. Driven midway height and really into the corner. Terrific.
Well, Maz Kuyar was in a promotion battle with Brackley last season. He was at Kidderminster. 13 goals, 12 assists. Didn't score or assist against Brackley as they were beaten to promotion on the final day. He can exact a modicum of revenge by keeping Notts County in the shootout, but he must score or Brackley are through. It's Kuyar, and it's in. 3-3. There's a chance now for Brackley to win it after Kuyar keeps Notts County in it. Zach Brown stepping forward. Well, Zach Brown, one of the second half substitutes, another of the players brought in from Kidderminster, a teammate of Maz Kuyar last season. But it's his chance with one kick to put Brackley Town into the second round of the FA Cup. Stepping forward, Brown, right-footed, scores! Brackley Town with the FA Cup upset. They win it 4-3 on spot kicks. They have knocked out another EFL side. They're into the second round for the 5th time in their history. And the side playing National League football for the first time in their history have another headline. Twice they fought back in the contest, then they took control of the shootout. And Zach Brown with the winning spot kick has sent Notts County out. They are another EFL side beaten by non-league opposition today. And it is a famous win for Brackley Town. And Alvin Martin, it's hard to begrudge them it.
Now, congratulations. You know, they showed tremendous character tonight. They had setbacks along the way. They weren't deterred. They kept going. They had times when perhaps they could have felt sorry for themselves, where, you know, unjustly didn't score. But they just kept plugging away. Got back in the game right at the death of in extra time. And then I think they played a very clever game from that moment on. They just didn't take any chances. They thought, right, we can get to penalties, and if we get to penalties, we'll hold our nerve. And hold their nerve they did throughout the game.
Well, 5 penalties taken, 4 scored, and Brackley Town have got themselves into the second round, and it's been another classic FA Cup tie. This competition still delivers on upsets, on drama, on brilliant storylines, and there are plenty of Brackley Town fans now who can applaud their team. Wonderful moments, great scenes here at St James's Park, as 3 sides of this ground are able to applaud their side. Low being carried by Little towards the goal mouth on our right hand side, towards the massed ranks of Brackley fans who have been cheering them on all night, who have stayed with the team, who have kept belief, and the team delivered for them as well. Responding in the first half with the equaliser through Matt Lowe after Alassana Jatta had given Notts County an early lead, and responding in the second half as well. Jody Jones's penalty cancelled out in the 96th minute by a penalty as well from Callum Stewart. Plenty to talk about. It's been a wonderful cup tie, but the scenes for Brackley Town, a club that is on the up and has another wonderful moment. Alvin Martin.
Yeah, I think all of the Brackley Town players, were 8, 9 out of 10. They had to come here. They had to show a lot of character, and I credit to them on the fitness as well. To go into extra time against a team that are training full time, and they're only doing 2 days a week. I think they never ever looked like they were out on their feet. They kept going, and it was a complete team performance. I think Lowe up front. He started up front, ended up as a wing back. I think he epitomised. He got himself a goal. He kept running. He never gave up, and he did a job for the team. And I think there were a lot of the players in the Brackley Town side that sacrificed themselves for the cause tonight. Completely together, absolutely fantastic.
So it's Brackley Town celebrating a trip into the second round of the FA Cup for the 5th time in their history. Can they get to the 3rd for the first time in their history? We await the draw on Monday to see who might be coming here or where Brackley Town may be going. The FA Cup journey ends for Notts County in the first round. Another upset in this great competition. Brackley Town 2, Notts County 2. It ends 4-3 to Brackley Town on spot kicks. Talksport is where you can get Liverpool against Aston Villa in the Premier League. Here on Talksport 2, we are heading to the Co-op Live Arena in Manchester for some light heavyweight boxing.